Yeah, that reminds me, really. I haven't heard from him for a week. I bet
I haven't heard from him much.
I'll give him a ring. Hang on a minute.
Yeah.
I know the number. Hang on.
God, you remember doing phones like that, Chris?
It's impressive that he remembers the number as well.
I know. It's impressive he remembers how to use that phone.
Yeah, I try. I keep trying to press the dial, but it doesn't work. So just wait for it to connect.
Operator.
I have
Warmington 4242.
Oh, it's ringing.
Oh. Doesn't mean he's sober.
Yeah.
Just means his phone.
Yeah, it's connected, but it's asking me to press the B button.
Oh. Technology fail.
It's got through. Hello. Peter, is that you? Hello. You're where? South coast of Ireland. Right. Yep.
Wrong turn.
How did you get there? In your 3-foot dinghy. 3-foot yacht, yeah.
That's 3.5-foot yacht. He probably got a 3-foot dinghy.
Don't call it a dinghy, you'll get offended.
No, he's got a dinghy for the yacht, I'm sure.
That's a 2-foot dinghy.
Sorry, yeah, the lags, yeah, the sound lag, yeah. Yep, right. You're a bit hungry because you got nowhere to put this food. Right. Have you tried fishing? You have, but yeah. Yeah, and you're still being followed by Gav, who thinks it's a disco. He thinks, yeah. Gav thinks it's a rave. Right. Yeah. Just tell him the navigation lights. Red and white. Like
navigation lights, isn't it?
Just flashing navigation lights. All right. Can we do a giveaway later? You broke up a little bit. Sorry. Yeah. All right. All right. Yep. Okay. You're right. There's a big container vessel heading towards you. You've got to go. All right. Right. Okay. Bye. Yeah, he's off the south coast of Ireland. That's why we haven't heard from him. He's been in that 3.5-foot yacht.
And he set sail for the south coast of Ireland, never to be seen again.
It was that talk of Father Ted. He thought he'd better go to Ireland.
He's done it wrong because he's not got an iron sweater, so it's all going to go wrong.
Oh, well, good evening. Peter sends his regards to everybody that's joined us tonight on the Monday night eModels live stream. Hello, everybody. Hello. It's me, Ted from eModels, emodels.co.uk.
Ted from eModels.
Yeah, these two guys down here, are they down here on your side? Or
near enough.
No, the other side. Up a bit.
Yeah.
Your left.
Good evening to you. Whoever speaks first comes up first. Hello, how are you?
Who are you asking?
Chris, it's your turn
Who's
first.
being polite? Hello, I'm good. I'm fine, thank you. How's everything?
What have you been up to this week?
This week I have mostly been finishing my Millennium Falcon. Here. I'm calling it finished.
Finished. Yeah.
Done and done. So that's it. The video is incoming on my channel, but now that means because I finished that, this week I shall be starting this for eModels.
The eModels build, yes.
eModels build shall commence during the week, no doubt, hopefully.
Yay.
So, yeah.
Looking forward to it. Yeah, look forward to that. We're doing an inbox and everything in the first video.
The first video will be just starting it and, and see how it goes. I don't know yet. I don't plan things. We just go around making plans and stuff. No
how many parts are in that kit, Chris?
Several. There's not lots. It's not going to be a big build video. It's going to be more of a paint video.
Yeah, it's something to ease you into to get into the flow of building any model. Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
I think you've still got the satellite delay going on there, Ted.
Yeah, I've got Pete's satellite delay. Yeah, he was on the ship to show.
I see Tim Bix just asked me what about the tugs. They're still here as well. I haven't done anything else on them. They're still as they were before. I haven't gone any further with those. I'm still playing with water and trying to figure out how I'm going to get the water to work on the diorama. But they'll be coming along as well. But I'm going to get this done for eModels first. Because
I've just spotted that TK's in the chat as well. He's your moderator for tonight. As long as TK's here, I know that he's a bit of a tired puppy at the moment because of his working shifts and that. So yeah, thanks TK. Any problems, TK look after you. Yeah. And Fox, what have you been up to?
Hello. I've been busy last week working on my eModels build on my little AML 90, which is now assembled and painted with the base colours, just the initial base colours. You may notice this isn't traditional French army or Argentinian army fare because it's got a great big dozer blade on the front. Because I've Warhammered it up, I've added loads of stuff, like a big bolter on the front there. No, a stubber on the front. Instead of the 90mm cannon, we've got some twin-linked auto cannons, I think they are. We've got loads of little Warhammer aerials and smoke dispensers. We've got Warhammer covers on the hatches, and it's looking kind of mint now. I've given it a sort of blue slight urban camo scheme, and I have made a start, although I've not filmed any of it yet. I've made a start on the dudes who I've just knocked over. So we have some dudes on the go. They've just been primed up, so they're ready to start with the painting at some point. So yeah, they're all ready to roll. So I've been busy this week, and I just took a day or two off from doing that to start my own war. I'm sorry to Warhammer. I decided I'm going to get an army and build an army and actually try and find somewhere I can go and try playing the game. So I've started building my own little army. Just like last couple of days, took a couple of days to just start gluing some little dudes together. So that's me, been all week. Nice and busy.
None of us are terribly shocked that you started and going to start playing the game.
I know, it's like
you start by walking past the shop and you get sucked in.
Yeah, I know. And then you walk in, there's all the little 14-year-olds playing the game, and you're like, damn, they're really good. And I'm an old man, and I should be better than them, so I need to stop playing.
Yeah, never mind. Right. As for me, well, good news for this week. If you've been watching me build the Desert War diorama from the Long Range Desert Group, the Tamiya kit and the Tamiya SAS, it's all finished now. It's all put in its diorama, and the diorama itself, I actually thought it would make an ideal subject for to get Professor Ted Skipperton along and do an eModels presentation for you on how to build a basic, simple, easy, quick diorama. I had that diorama built and finished in about half a day. Just quick and easy as that. So I'm going to do that for you. Have a look at that, and I'll get him to show you how to use the AK Desert Sand, which is what that's painted in. So that's what I've been on with. And I've also, it's been an amazing busy week. I've also been doing bing, that.
Yeah, those really noises that you both make, Ted. Bing.
Bing. Well, it's not actually the U-boat that makes that noise. It's the ship above.
I know.
Bing, bing.
Captain's there going, Lieutenant, activate the device that goes bing, please. No, we've only got the one that goes boo. Oh, we'll use that one. I don't care.
Yeah, Ivan, one ping only.
Ivan?
Was it Ivan? Was it Ivan that?
Ivan, not. I wouldn't say it's a traditional German.
It was a guy in Red. It was a guy in Red October. One ping only.
They were Russian, Ted. They were Russian. And I think that was more. I think that was more like, please activate the thing with that little pinging device, please.
Can you press that button?
That was a cunning Russian accent, that one.
Yes, I am amazing.
That was starting. We were back to where we left off last week, so anybody that watches these programs back to back, I think we'll just continue.
Yeah, they were recorded 6 months ago.
So the video is just about finished on this. I'll have it finished tomorrow, then editing, and it will be up for the next part of the next part of the video build by the end of the week.
Looks very impressive.
Yeah, it's brilliant. This has been painted with. I'll show you in the video, but it's been painted with the life color U-boat set. Brilliant colors. Gives a fantastic finish. But yeah, really nice model. So that's been on with that. Yeah, so I've been really busy. Just a matter of.
Michael Jackerman and Frankie Goes to Hollywood said good work on the diorama. They're liking that.
Yeah.
And Steve Shed Scale Models, I wish people had put easier names, said, is that the prize for tonight, your diorama?
I wish it would be. Yeah, it wouldn't survive the journey because I didn't stick the trucks down. Because if I wanted to play with the vehicles, I could take them off the diorama and go around the bench, as you do. Yeah. So
people ask me sometimes if I'll build them, like when I used to do commissions, say, will you do a model and a diorama? And I'm like, No, there's no real way to ship a diorama without paying crating costs. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't ship them anywhere.
You have to fill it with packing foam or something. But
yeah, but this diorama is just made with polystyrene, and I'll show you. We'll do a quick 10-minute video, show how to do one. We could probably do it in 10 minutes without painting it, but yeah, we can do.
John Bennett just asked Ted. John Bennett just asked Ted, do they do any other colours apart from sand?
Yes, they do. They do a few earth ones. They do 2 colours of sand. This is just 1 colour, but I've used paints and filters on it.
So you can paint it over it anyway. So even if you use the sand or the snow one, you can paint it sand or snow or yeah.
They do snow as well. I'm sure they do a snow one. Have a look on the eModels site. But if you search AK terrain on the eModels site, it'll show you what they do, what they've got in stock. But it's brilliant stuff. It goes hard as rock. It says on the bottle you can actually sand it. So yeah.
Sand the sand.
Sand the sand. More sand.
Just a quick reminder, because we forgot at the start. If you're watching this on emodels.co.uk/live, and you'd like to join in the chat, do feel free, because we do giveaways and stuff to people in the chat, and we take questions. So all you need to do, if you're watching anywhere apart from on YouTube itself, is just click on the little YouTube icon in the bottom right of the video player, and that will take you to the YouTube page where this stream is, and you can join in the chat. And we like when people join in the chat, because more importantly, they give us material, because they ask us all the questions. But we also do giveaways, so do join in if you're watching live.
Another question I did spot there about the life colour paints from Carl Whitfield. He said, what thinners did I use for the life colour paints? Life colour actually themselves do their own paint, do their own thinners, and it also says on the bottle that you can use them with, you can thin them with water. However, what I was thinning them with, and thinning them quite successfully, was just some airbrush thinners. I was mixing that and using that to thin them with the ultimate the UMP thinners.
One of the advantages of acrylic paints is, especially water-based ones, you can pretty much use any acrylic paint thinner with any acrylic paint. It's a really kind of handy thing to know.
Yeah, so it worked. It worked both for brushing and spray painting. Went on brilliantly. Lays down really nice. Yeah, that's right. That's it. Yeah. So as Fox says, if you do have any questions, write them in bold on here.
In bold.
in big words. Yeah. Or you can send them to ted@emodels.co.uk. And I'll get them on email, and hopefully signal allowing and such, they'll pop up on my phone, and I'll try and get them.
Your battery's okay, you're on charge, and
the battery's up here, it's plugged in, the screen's locked, so it's on all the time, and yeah, so we're good to go, I hope. But
don't forget, of course, if people want to, there is the super chat option on the eModels stream chat here with a little $sign at the bottom. You can use that to make sure your comment is highlighted in a big green or blue or purple box, so there's no way Chris can miss it.
It's what? Sorry, who? What? Where?
Mate, hello, morning. Chris being our chat dolly. So yes, if you want to use the super chat, do feel free. It just highlights your comment, so we can't possibly miss it.
I know chat's raced through a little bit now, but we'll go about and have a look and see who's in. But Sergeant Bones was first in tonight, but he's just said he's been requested by her. He must be a beard, so he's had to pop off for a while. So Griff M's in, Gross Models, yeah, he's in somewhere. John Bennett, Phil Capp, Scott Sutherland from Orkney. I swear he said it's a nice sunny day in Orkney, and I believe everybody else has had snow.
We had none. We got like 5 flakes of pathetic snow that were like, and then it just was sunny all day.
No, we haven't had anything. It's been bitterly cold, but sun's been out. Yeah, we've sent all this snow down south.
Bad stuff.
It snowed in London, yeah. It didn't snow for very long, but it was really heavy. It didn't really settle. And then it stopped, and then it started again, and then it stopped. So I don't know what's doing now. It's dark out there.
So they closed the airports and the trains will have stopped.
Sure, yeah, three flakes, and that's it.
Everybody will have crammed on the 2 o'clock tube and gone home early. So yeah, mass panic down south.
Down south. Tony Black says, don't use that UMP thinner on Citadel ceramic white. ceramite white.
Ceramite white.
Ceramite white. It turns it into cottage cheese, apparently.
Yeah.
Fine on other colours, but apparently it doesn't like the white.
Yeah, I've used it in pretty much all the other colours, but I found the same thing. There must be something special about the ceramite white colour that it clogs. It must have some specific binders, acrylic binders in there that it goes a bit lumpy with. Or I don't know, maybe it's full of proteins or something, but not to get proteins in paint. But yeah, I've used it on other Citadel paints, absolutely fine. But yeah, I've had the same problem.
It's probably the pigments in the white that's having it, because white's mixed differently, isn't it? White.
Yeah.
It's pigments.
That's why no matter what range of paints you got, you can have all the paints can be brilliant, but white will always be a pig.
Yeah. Anyway, carry on down. Lord Barclay III, Spidey Q8, Mike Mountain. Dave Barker, John Bennett, apologies if I miss you as I'm coming through. Rusty Customs Models, Tony Black, have I said that before? Josh Foyster Howarth, good evening, that's a new name, I haven't seen that one before. Good evening, Josh. Chris Smith, Alan Fallon, hi Alan. Raging Bassist.
Bassist, you can say bassist though, when you?
I nearly said bassist then, bass. Yeah. Tim Bix, Wayne Hayward, James Chapman, Phyllis, FX Models and Things. That's a good name. FX Models and Things. Well, how do you make special effects? Paul Shopland, Stein van Gemmert.
Stein van Gemmert.
Stein van Gemmert. Yeah, I'll get it right next.
Yes.
Yeah. Tim Bix.
Getting better each time a little bit.
Yeah, we're getting there. I think I'm getting one word in the name right each week. So give us a couple more weeks, I'll get them all. That's it, yeah. So we're going on and on. Steve Shed, Scale Models, Tibbix, on. Yeah, and on. Yep. Good evening. So if I missed you, I do apologise. We'll catch up with you as we go along through the night.
I have seen the comments going up quite quickly. So
yeah. FX Models and Things says, by the way, I'm Gary.
Okay. There's a high likelihood that we will miss quite a few questions.
It's going very quick tonight for some reason.
So apologies in advance if we do miss a question or if we don't pick up on a comment from you. We do our best, but there's only 3 of us.
If you really want it answered, just ask it multiple times until we answer.
Joanna's joined us tonight. Joanna of the special effects and the twirly things. She's joined us tonight. Yeah. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Joanna also, she's had confirmation that if anybody's trying to get Pledge Floor Care finished 2 times more shine, the North American version of Pledge Multi-Surface Wax, it's now called something that I can't remember what it is. So if Joanna can put that in the chat again, I'll read it out. It's got a new name in the States now. If you're trying to get it from the US, it's called a new name.
Why did they keep changing the name?
Because they're idiots. Because they're idiots. SC Johnson, they just...
It's like when he used to go for Jif cleaner, didn't he? You can't get Jif anymore. Can I have some Jif, please?
That was a European thing, though, wasn't it? They changed it to match.
You don't have Jif anymore. You can send you some Sif.
Yeah, that's just it's now called Pledge Revive It Floor Care. If you're in the US, or if you're trying to import some from the US, Pledge Revive It Floor Care. I think it still has the 2 times more shine on it.
Yeah, so if you find it and you can afford the shipping and you can send some over to me, yeah. Well, I'll share it out. Honest, I'll share it. I'll send.
Send it to eModels.co.uk. Yeah,
I did actually. For people might be interested to know that Pete Mate, Gav Mate, and James Mate did actually go on an adventure to try and find a big stock of Pledge multi-surface wax to potentially have it in store. They couldn't find it anywhere.
Yeah, but they
went to Asda, Sainsbury's, everywhere they could possibly go to try and find something to get.
Did they only look in offies?
Yeah, but Pete gave them 50 quid. Go and find me some Pledge, he said. They couldn't find. It went around all the stores, couldn't find any, but they could find chocolate cakes, hobnobs, and everything else. So yeah,
I can neither confirm nor deny that I may have received a shipment of hobnobs from somewhere.
Speedy Q8 changed as well. It used to be Snickers.
Snickers is the American name, and it's stupid. It should go back to being called Marathon.
Yeah. We had a chap like that at work once, who, when we were apprentices, there was another apprentice who was given 20 quid by his journeyman to go into town and buy himself a pie. Here's 20 quid. Bearing in mind, this is about 1978. Here's 20 quid or whatever. Go to town, and get me a couple of pies. And while you're
That's
there,
like £1,000 in today's money, isn't it?
and while you're there, get yourself something else. Get yourself something. So he did. He came back, gave his journeyman the 2 pies. I give him about £2 change. Where's the rest? Well, he said I could get something. Get myself something. Yeah, what did you buy? I bought a shirt. So he was tie wrapped to the top of the mast and left there for a few days. So 20 quid, yes, get yourself something.
Okay, I'll buy a car. Wait, no, what? you could get like a Mark III Escort for that.
You probably could, yeah. You probably get yourself buy a car and get yourself to London and back at 20 quid.
Yeah. There's a question I've seen come up a couple of times, might be from the same person. I've now lost it.
What was it about?
Apologies. It was about thinning enamel paints because they were coming out gritty.
Oh, yes, I got that one.
Who's that?
James Chapman.
Yes.
What's the proportions for airbrushing paints? Has just done first colour on a 132 Focke-Wulf, and it turned out gritty.
Has it actually turned out gritty, or is it just a rough? Is it a rough surface, or is it lumpy? If it's a rough surface,
just say lumpy again.
Lumpy.
Lumpy. I love the way you say lumpy.
Lumpy.
So Lake District.
yeah, that's what them hills are in the district. They're lumpy.
They're just big lumps.
They're big lumps of rock. Yeah. Anyway, going back to the serious modelling question.
Yes.
If it's gritty and feels rough to the surface, there's a fair chance that it's drying before it's hit the model, and that's why you get a rough effect on it.
Yes.
If it's lumpy, unless the mixing, or it's like we spoke about the white, unless the pigments have come out of it. Not too sure or not. Unless any ideas.
Yeah, if it's in terms of thinning paints for airbrushing, ignore every ratio you've ever seen and just thin it to the consistency of skim milk. That's your best bet, or maybe a little bit thinner depending on what you want. But just go for the sort of what skimmed milk looks like. It just kind of drips off. If you're stirring it, it drips off and it kind of runs down the side. You can't give a proper percentage for a paint because every brand is different, and even within one brand, different colours can require different amounts of thinning. And
what airbrush you're putting it through is going to make a difference to it as well.
You compress
it feels rough, but like a fine sandpaper effect.
Yeah, that's going to be your spraying it at too high a pressure, or you're spraying it too far away from the model. And like Ted says, it's because it's drying out before it hits the model. That's why you get that kind of rough texture. Depends on the paint, but for most acrylics, you're probably looking anywhere between 15 to 20 psi. Depending on your compressor and airbrush, your mileage may vary. Yeah. For enamels, you can go a lot lower because they're thinner. So the thinner the paint, the lower the pressure you can use. I've sprayed enamels through my airbrush, enamel weathering products through my airbrush at about 12 to 13 psi. So just experiment with different pressures. Get it to the consistency of skim milk, and try different distances from the model. Usually, when I'm spraying, like you'll see me in my videos, when I'm spraying, I've probably got the airbrush maybe there to the model, so maybe about that kind of distance. And I'm constantly moving it, of course, but I'm usually keeping it about that far away. So only a few inches. If you're like this far away, you're just spraying it with dust, paint-coloured dust, basically. So yes, it's pressure and it's distance. Also, if where you are is incredibly dry and not particularly humid, and hot, then that might also be a problem. So again, just fiddle with the pressure and the distance, and you'll get the ideal combination.
Yeah, and if you've got that rough surface on your model now, it usually comes off fairly easily. Just a brush over. Sometimes with your fingers it'll take it off. If not, just a light dusting, a light rubbing with an emery board or something like that.
Or so if you've got like a really fine sanding sponge, not a polishing sponge, but like the UMP ones that are kind of the grey squishy ones. I've had lumpy paint before. I just very gently sand it and it'll smooth it down for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, right where we are. There's been a lot of chat going on about the pledge and things like that. Dave Barker said anybody with less than 20 minutes lost on the sweepstake.
Yeah, I think that's the sweepstake to get Fox to mention a certain.
A thing we cannot mention.
I think we're allowed to mention it, but it's just...
yeah, you guys can mention it, no problem. James Chapman says he's been using his dad's Tamiya Spraywork airbrush compressor, so that should be all right. So yeah, it depends on the paint, but if it's enamels, you can probably go a bit lower than normal, so maybe between 10 and 15 psi, maybe. Depends on the enamels, because a lot of enamels are actually thin enough that you don't need to thin them anyway. So
yeah. It's just a matter of well, that's the steep learning curve, as Fox always tells you. It's a huge steep learning curve about spray painting, and then it'll just level off. And then when you've sorted it, when you've worked it out, when you've hit that sweet spot, you'll have it cracked.
I always say it's like a really steep curve, but it's really short, because you'll learn everything you need to learn in like a few days. But it's just there's a lot to learn, so don't panic when things go wrong. Just accept that over a little bit of time, you'll figure it out and you'll get there. It's actually, airbrushing is really easy once you know what you're doing. It kind of sounds really glib to say that, but there's not that much to know. But you learn it quickly. That's the beauty of it. Once you get your own way of doing things, you get comfortable with it. You'll know you've done it when you can actually spray something and not be breaking out in a sweat and come out from the spray booth sweating cobs because you're panicking, because you're stressing and thinking about it too much. And then you get to the stage of, oh God, do I have to get the airbrush out? Can I not just brush paint it? Then you really know that you know what you're doing, because then you're like, oh, I don't even want to airbrush now.
Yeah.
Troughton Charles just popped in, says, evening all, sorry I'm late. I have a note explaining why. Forward it to ted@emodels.co.uk, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know his mum's signature, so.
Yeah, and you'll just have to stay behind to make up the time. That's unfortunate, but that's what you have to do.
Ryan says, guys from my local shop have been thinning Tamiya acrylics with Mr. Colour leveling thinner, which I believe is a lacquer thinner. Have you heard of this? Tamiya paints are not actually acrylics. They're kind of sort of like lacquers. They're not water-based or alcohol-based, so they're a lot more tolerant of lacquer thinners.
Yeah.
I don't know if it works. I don't know if there'd be any horrible side effects, but if they've been doing it and it works, then yep. They probably couldn't do that with water-based acrylics because they're not compatible, but with the lacquer thinners, it's probably fine.
Yeah, which probably the AK Real Colours, they're the new acrylic lacquer or whatever they are, which are very similar. It's probably the same thing as Tamiya.
Yeah.
They just started to copy Tamiya
yeah,
with a lot more colours. And they say that you can thin them with anything. So, yeah, it's probably going to work the same with Tamiya.
Yeah. That's just those two paints are ones where they're labelled as acrylics, but they're actually not. They're actually technically they're more akin. They're neither lacquers nor acrylics. They're more akin to lacquers than they are. Tamiya paints are very durable because they've got a kind of lacquer. It's hard to explain. They're kind of more like lacquers than they are acrylics, but they don't contain the same kind of solvents. So they behave like acrylics, but they're not. It's weird.
Yeah, strange stuff. Yeah. Right. Right. I do have a question. I noticed that TK is in the house tonight, and before he has to go to bed early because his mum says he's got to get to bed early tonight. He's asked about a question. He's building a model at the moment with Aztec decals, and he says that they're not laying down properly. They're not working properly for him, and neither Microset nor Microsol seems to solve them for him. Has anybody out there? We've talked among ourselves, and we don't have an answer. But has anybody out there ever worked with Aztec decals before?
Just so people know, he's actually applying Aztec paneling decals to the USS Reliant starship, so it's the big wedge shape. So anybody who's built a Star Trek ship and used the Aztec brand of the Aztec pattern decals, because I've not. Apparently, they're just not sticking down, and I'm wondering if it's just a case that he's got a batch of them that perhaps the glue, there's no glue on them, or maybe they're really old and the glue's just stopped working. Because it sounds like there's no glue on there at all. My advice would be to contact Aztec and say, dude, can you send me some more? Because these don't work.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There could be some other reason. So if any of you have come across that before, because none of us have used them before.
Yeah,
well, we're waiting for chat to reply to that. We got a question earlier from Griff MJ. Anyone had any problems with the new Humbrol rattle can varnishes? Matt had some trouble with them earlier.
Yeah, I did see that question before we came on air. He was saying they're not spraying properly. You have 3 cans that you can't get paint out of.
I don't know if have they changed them or something, because I absolutely adore the matte 49 rattle can varnish, the acrylic, and I can't live without it. So if they've changed it and it's now not very good, I'll be desperate because I won't have any way of matte varnishing.
Yeah, is there anything coming out of them at all? When you press the button, is there air coming out of them? Is there nothing at all? No air coming out? Is it lumpy? sort of paint or anything like that.
Griff says yes, they have changed them. Oh,
right.
Because I've never had any joy spraying matte varnishes with an airbrush, and I really depend on rattle cans of Umbro Matte 49.
Yeah, I know. Do you ever find a problem with your car de-icer? That seems to be a problem when you've used about 2 squirts out of it. You've got a can full, but you can't get any air out of it. It seems as though the can loses the whole pressure.
It says it comes out in the cap.
Comes out of the cap.
Yeah, could be a bad batch then, maybe. That sounds more like a technical, physical issue with the nozzle.
Just warm them up a little bit. Warm them up, put them in a bowl of water or something, hot water. Warm them up. See if it changes anything. If not, I'll be taking them back to the shop and saying, hey, they're not working. But usually rattle cans, they're sort of foolproof.
Yeah, it is the not spraying, so it could be something in either the mix of the varnish is gunking up the nozzle, or it could just be a bad batch with faulty.
Do they have like batch numbers on the can on the bottles of those? I've only ever read the one, so I don't know. But check to see that they're different. If they do, if they're all the same, then that might just be a bad manufacturing on that pat.
Yeah. But I've not heard anything, so that's the first I've heard. I didn't even know they changed them. Oh.
Maybe keep the nozzle off your old one, just in case.
I need to go and bulk buy like 300 cans of Umbro 49 old style now, don't I? Yeah.
One or two people have been answering TK's conundrum. John Bennett says they have been temperamental. And he goes on to say he uses Pledge 2 times more shine to fix them instead of microset. That'd be an idea. Yeah, just put them down onto varnish.
Yeah. I mean, I know of people that do use the Pledge or any kind of gloss varnish like that to set decals. So, but I suspect with TK's decals, it's like we said to the last question, it's either a bad batch or just that particular one. Maybe there's no glue on them, or maybe they're just not much glue, or they've really been on the shelf for a while. I'd be tempted to contact Aztec and say, dude. Michael Bondo Hansen says, Fox, why don't you like airbrushing matte varnish? I would love to airbrush matte varnish. Every time I've tried it, it's come out terrible. I think it's more me not doing it right. I've just never got the hang of it. It always come out either too frosty, or it's too thick, or I can't thin it enough, or it's too thin, or it comes out satin. I've just never got the hang of it. I will have to at some point. I've got like 20 bottles of the ammo stuff, and I've got a bottle of the AK stuff. I've just not got the hang of it. I suck at it. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, I spray.
I'm so used to rattle canning it. Like, it's matte varnished. I personally, I've never ever had a problem with the Umbro 49 matte. I've done it outside in hot summer, moist days, cold days, when it's been snowing. It's always done me right. So I've never had the need to, but I have tried it because it will be convenient not to have to go outside and spray matte varnish. But I just suck right royally at airbrushing matte varnishes. I can airbrush Pledge. That's no problem. Future clear. I can do that. But matte varnish, no. I need to just do it a lot more and practice a lot more.
Yeah, just keep going. Yeah. I matte varnished these figures all yesterday. Went great. So it's probably just a knack.
Spiddy Crate says nozzle do block from time to time. One trick is to get the comment before it goes off the top of the screen.
It said turn the can upside down and just spray air out of it.
Yeah, there you go. I suspect it may be like the formula they've got inside. Maybe it's just kind of congealing on the nozzle and blocking it up. Maybe.
Yeah. Well, we're talking about airbrushing, FX models and things. I can't remember. I think it was Gary, wasn't it? So
somebody said they were called Gary. Well, there's somebody in there called Gary.
Anyway, he said, would you say any airbrush is better than no airbrush? Thinking of buying a cheap one.
Oh, yeah. This question crops up quite a bit.
It's always a difficult question, isn't it? It's sort of yes and sort of no.
There's cheap, and then there's don't even bother cheap.
Yeah, I would rather have no airbrush until I saved up a bit more to buy a reputable airbrush. You get what I mean?
Yeah, I got a cheapish airbrush with compressor as a kit. Basically, buying the compressor and getting a free airbrush, and it was great to begin to learn what you're doing, and you don't mind when you take it apart to clean it if it breaks or anything, goes hideously wrong with it. So it's good to learn maintenance and things on it, and then upgrade to something a bit better when you're a little bit more comfortable. But if it's too cheap, it's going to put you off.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a fine balance.
Yeah, exactly. What we said earlier on about the learning curve for airbrushing being very steep but very short. There's a lot of people that will get an airbrush, dirt cheap airbrush. They'll try it, it won't work quite right, and they'll be put off airbrushing for life because they think they can't do it. That just keep in mind that learning curve. If you go and buy some cheapy 10, 15 quid thing off the Amazons or the eBays, yes, it might be absolutely fine, but it might equally have an ill-shaped nozzle or a misaligned needle or something else won't quite fit right. It's cheap for a reason. I've got some cheap 10, 15 quid airbrushes in my collection, and I use them for like hardcore stuff like I just need to put a quick coat of primer on this and I don't care. But if you're just starting out, like Ted says, it's worth going for something still cheap in the range. I mean, we're probably talking, 40 quid onwards for an airbrush is probably as cheap as you want to go for if you're learning and you want a good airbrush. Go for your Badgers, your Iwatas, your other sort of well-known brands. You can certainly get a cheap one. It's just if it doesn't work quite right, and it probably won't, you've given yourself a barrier to learning for something that's already quite. A lot of people get really scared by airbrushing because it seems really complicated. But once, like I said before, once it clicks and you go, "Oh, and I know what I'm doing now," it doesn't take long, but it's hard to explain. It's like jumping off a ledge. You know you're not going to injure yourself, but it might be quite a long way down. So you're, I don't want to jump. So there's no point giving yourself extra barriers and hurdles to jump over to get to airbrushing.
My first airbrush was this one. It was one of these 2 in a set and a compressor you get off eBay. And I've been lucky with this one. The other one just sort of didn't work at all, and I've never used it ever since. And I've been lucky with this one because it's been not bad. But I only ever use it for putting clear coats on. I'm not worried if it gets gooped up, if I forget to clean it out or anything like that. I just shoving clear coats through it, and that's all I use it for, because it's just sprays a big wide pattern. I can't use it for any close-up work or gentle type lines or anything like that, but it's just a big get the covering on and use it. Yeah, but I've been lucky with it. You can get lucky, but then you can get unlucky. So yeah, save up that few extra quid, do without an airbrush until you can afford your beginner range and get in there. But as Chris said, it was a case of buying a compressor and getting 2 airbrushes free, which is what these are. Yeah. And the compressor itself is actually giving up now. But I got a few years out of it. Yeah, it's all right. So, yeah.
I was just going to say that there is a place for cheap, crappy airbrushes. Don't get me wrong. I think the place is for someone who kind of already knows what they're doing a bit with airbrushes and just needs a quick throwaway airbrush they don't care about. For somebody who's learning, the last thing you want to do, it's like if you're learning to drive, you don't want to learn to drive in a 45-year-old Austin Allegro with wonky steering and a bad engine that's going to break down every 5 minutes, because you're never going to learn to drive. You're just going to never drive again.
You don't want to spend the first half of your day fixing the car to get it roadworthy to go out.
And as an example of the learning curve, here's something that will happen to every single person who starts to airbrush, and I guarantee this will happen to, well, let's be more realistic. 95% of people, the first time they use an airbrush, they'll finish spraying, they'll start to clean it, they'll take it apart, and because airbrush instructions in airbrushes generally don't tell you all this, they'll take it apart and the trigger will fall out. And they'll break out into sweat and they'll be pooping kittens about, oh, I broke them, and they'll panic. And you'll have this massive, and then you'll realize, you go online, you'll check, and you realize, oh, you just need to put it back in and put the needle through it. That happens to pretty much 95% of people who start to airbrush. And that's just simple little things. Because you don't know what you're doing, and that's how you start out. So giving yourself a really crappy cheap airbrush, which probably will fall apart anyway, you're just not going to help yourself learn. You're gonna put yourself off, or you will risk you thinking it's a lot more complicated than it is. If it's a bad airbrush and it doesn't have a good spray pattern, or like Ted says, it just goes everywhere like a rattle can, you'll think you're not spraying very well. You probably be spraying fine. It's the airbrush that's not spraying well, but you won't know that because you're learning. So cheap, crappy airbrushes are fine if you know what you're doing, because you can use them for various things. But I would always recommend going for a known brand. Start off at the 30-40 quid mark, very bottom. Don't make life harder than it needs to be.
Yeah, the chat seems to confirm that. Christopher Coombe says, no, don't do it.
Yep.
Yeah. It's disappeared again now.
I know Dave Wiserum Barker says he saved up for I can't remember if it was a Pasha or an H&S, and he said it's improved his spraying 100%.
Spider Kid says he'd love to try the H&S, but the reviews are so diverse. Yeah, I've got H&S. It's the Evolution 2. It's the one where you get 2 needles and 2 nozzles in the pack.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. The Chinese airbrush in the hand compared to this one, this is a work of art. It's gorgeous. I love it.
I had a quick play with an H&S with the removable nozzle that just slides in and out. Oh my god, did I want one of those? The only problem is they don't do trigger grips, so it's no use for me. Yeah. Kenneth says if you buy a good airbrush, you'll take better care of it and be more delicate with it too.
Yep. Tony Black says he learned a lot on cheap airbrushes, but a decent one makes all the difference.
Yes. I mean, there's always the chance you'll get a cheap airbrush and you'll learn what you're doing and it'll be an adventure. But if you get yourself a decent airbrush, even a cheap decent airbrush, you'll learn a lot faster and you'll gain confidence, because 10% of airbrush is learning technique. I've got to do maths now. 90% of learning airbrush is getting the confidence of what you're doing.
What about the other 3%?
That's illegal. So yeah, 10% is the actual how to do it. The rest of it is all about you building up the confidence, because when you first start, you will think you are terrible at airbrushing. Everybody does. And you'll pop the trigger out and have a fit because you think you've broken the airbrush and you've just spent money on it. And then you realize, oh, wait, no, I just need to put it back in. That will happen to everybody. So yeah, it's all about building confidence. And if you're trying to build confidence with a really bad airbrush that doesn't spray properly, and you don't know why, because you don't understand about the nozzle and the needle alignment and other things, you're just going to put that down and never do airbrushing again.
Yeah.
The airbrushing is one of the techniques where we would usually say, go and have a look on YouTube and see how everybody else does it. But that will just blow your mind and confuse you totally. Because you find people talking about thinning paints and taking the right setups and the right pressures and everything like that. Get yourself a good starting airbrush. Get yourself some pre-prepared airbrush paints and just practice painting. Yeah, that's all you need to do.
Yeah, Joanna said she went for a nice airbrush straight away. Made life so much easier. You know any mess is up to you.
Yep. I mean, when I first started airbrushing was about 20 years ago. And I was like, a young lad at that point. There's a lot less face furniture going on. And I got a little crappy thing from Whole Foods, and it was literally it was a siphon feed, so I had the bottle underneath, and it was like 30 quid, and it was absolute terrible. And I was doing it for rattle cans of air, and it was like I was like, I'm never going to airbrush ever again, because the experience was so bad. I'm like, I'm never going to airbrush ever again. It took me 20 years to actually think, you know what, I'm going to give it another try, but I'm going to get a not pap airbrush. I'm going to get a decent airbrush. And I got my Iwata Evolution, and I was like, wow, I can actually do this. It was the airbrush that was the problem, not me.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, we could go on about airbrushing all night, but feel free. Anyway, ask any questions. But another thing, when you ask people what airbrush should I get, I'll say a H&S. Somebody else will say an Apex. Somebody else will say a Badger. So you've got to make your own mind up.
Yeah, decide for yourself. I would say though, don't go straight in and buy the top of the range airbrushes like Ted's H&S, which is, how much is yours? Like 180 quid or something?
I can't remember now. I can't honestly remember.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with going in with the top of the range brushes. Absolutely nothing at all. You will get the best quality, but you might discover you don't actually like airbrushing, and you just bought a really expensive airbrush. So start off with the mid-range stuff, the Iwatas and the Badgers and things. Get used to it, get comfortable, get confident. Then you can treat yourself to like the Rolls Royce of airbrushes, like your Pashas and your Harder and Steenbecks, because they're like true professional, top of the range airbrushes.
What did you say about learning to drive? You wouldn't learn to drive in a Lamborghini.
Well, some people would, but I wouldn't like to be the guy teaching them.
Start in the middle and work your way up.
Yeah, learn to drive in a Ford Fiesta. Actually, I learned to drive in a Proton. That's probably not a good example, is it?
I think I learned to drive in a Honda Civic.
Wow.
I didn't Austin Allegro.
With a full brown interior.
Yeah, and a brown exterior.
Yeah, I think it did actually. Yeah.
Brown is 1970s.
Yeah, a Honda Civic and a Nissan Cherry. Yeah, that was. They were
Nissan Cherry, there's going back.
Yeah, what's
Speedy Crate says only went for he got a Badger, and he said he went for the Badger because curiously it was a good price and Primer rave about them. And being a fiber needle, it gives me 2 good brushes instead of the chat's moving. Instead of the good it was at the back of the Chinese clone. I don't know what the context. I don't know why I read that out because it's in the middle of a conversation that I didn't know the context. So I'll shut up now.
Terry at Smooth's Workshop says he tried spraying with a Badger once, but it bit him and he ran away.
Yeah. Dave Weiser from Gumbarker said Ted's not going to own up to how much the H&S cost him because she must be a babe might watch the feed.
Yeah, she never watches the feed.
Yeah. Kenneth says when you buy a decent airbrush, buy a couple of spare needles and a needle nozzle too. Yeah, I bend needles all the damn time.
Yeah, that's another point about buying a branded airbrush. If you break something, it's easier to find parts.
Yes, I can't tell you the number of Iwata needles I've had to order over the last, let's say, 2 years. Many. Somehow I've only managed to damage 1 nozzle in that time, but I've been through so many needles.
Tony Black said he learned to drive in an Opel Kadett and a Mini Metro, a Mini Metro. Yeah.
Von Holdinghausen says, I started off with a Revell airbrush with canned air. Only used it once. Why? Because it actually did the job, and I instantly recognised that airbrushing was the way to go for me, but an H&S. Harder and Steve Beck.
Yeah.
Right, Joanna's got a question. A question for Fox at all. After my crazy initial dive into modelling with the Star Destroyer, what do you think I should build next?
Yeah, Joanna decided to start model making by getting a massive Star Destroyer and putting all the fibre optics in the world into it.
She's not even finished it yet.
That's like learning to drive in a Lamborghini, isn't it, basically? I don't know.
Build a tank.
Ted will say build a tank. I'll say build some Warhammer, and Chris will say build something really small.
Build something really small because you'll enjoy that more.
Yeah.
Well, actually, the Star Destroyer is a stupid small scale anyway, but it's massive.
Yeah. Whenever people say what should I build next, I always say have a look around, and the moment you go, oh, that looks cool, buy that. Because
Trout and Child was almost right. He says Fox will say Gunpla, Ted a boat, and Chris something in 144.
You can do something in small scale like 1/24, but make it big. Buy a U-boat.
Yeah.
and light it.
I always say go for something that you think's cool because then you'll have an interest in the subject and it'll keep you going. You won't get bored of it.
Yeah, while your glue's drying or your lights are sort of warming up, just browse the eModels website and sort of flick through all the categories, and you think, wow, and that's it. Put it in your basket.
The first thing that makes you go, ooh, I like that, then go and get it.
Yeah. Speedy Q8 says Millennium Falcon because they're easy. They only take 6 steps.
Yeah.
Every time, it's never going to let me down. Oh, go and get an Eagle Transporter's great kit.
That has been suggested by 2 or 3 people.
Has it?
Yeah.
It is a beautiful kit and it's massive and it looks fantastic.
And it will look brilliant lit up.
I have to say, I've said it before on the stream, but that Eagle Transporter I did for the eModels guys, that is the model I'm most proud of. I think, and that sentence there. I've made lots of things that I think I've done a good job there, but that one I'm like, I don't want to let it go because I'm so proud of it. And when I started the build, I was like, it won't take long. It's just paint it white and get some weather on it. It won't take long at all. But I actually put a lot of time into it, and I think it's. I don't want to blow my own trumpet, but that's the one I would be most happy to show off and say I made this. And it was a fun build. I really enjoyed it. Was it Space 1999?
Space 1999.
Yes. I got a high pitch there, didn't I?
Just by coincidence, tonight's What's in Store is all about space.
Space
Marines.
No, there's no Space Marines.
Not Space
Marines.
No Marines.
No Space Marines.
No Space Marines.
Kenneth has a question that should be quite a quick one. What colour paper are Bandai waterslide decals on?
Typically blue. Not always, but typically.
If there's a choice, then there's like blue and grey. The grey one's normally stickers, and the blue ones are probably waterslide. I'm
gonna guess somebody's got a Bandai kit, and there's a sheet on yellow and a sheet on blue. The yellow are usually stickers, or the yellow are stickers. The one with the frosty paper are dry rubs, and the blue are waterslide decals. Yeah, they don't put on the sheet. If you get a kit with water slides and stickers, and they don't tell you which is which.
Well, they probably do, but it's all in Japanese.
Well, yeah, there is that. Joanna Hammond says, "Oh wow, Space 1999. I can remember watching that as a child on a broken TV where the screen was only about 50% the correct size. Broken control coils."
So does that mean? So does that mean that when the Space 1999 vehicle flew along the screen, it disappeared?
Yeah, it was magic.
Magic.
I'm making a prediction. I'm making a prediction that somebody in the chat who may have the initials JH may at some point go into the eModel store and buy an Eagle transporter. Clearly, that comment says
it is there. Oh, well, yeah, we can have a look at what's in store later on. It's something there to
that's true.
Yeah, Speedy Q8 says, sadly, sci-fi isn't UK prominent. Book a holiday to Japan with an empty suitcase.
Oh, yeah.
I think, yeah, I'm not, as you know, I don't know much about sci-fi, but I think it is coming more to the fore now, especially with all the Star Trek Warhammer films.
You got quite a few things there. I quite like that.
Star Trek Wars, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe...
sci-fi has always been big. It's just certain parts of sci-fi haven't always been as popular in the UK as they have in other places. I didn't say it. I didn't say the word. So nobody's won the sweepstake yet.
No. Yeah. So, but yeah, they could all lose tonight. It might not get mentioned at all. Tony Black said he watched the first episode of 1999 on YouTube. All that nuclear waste on the moon. What could go wrong?
When I started the Eagle, I thought I need to go back and watch it because I hadn't seen it since I was a kid when it first aired. So I thought I need to go back and watch it. Yeah, the first series is good. Bad, so bad it's good. The second series, you don't want to watch the second season. But it's so bad that it's actually adorable. You can't not like Space 1999.
No.
Adam Clark says he saw the colon raider. I think he means Cylon, but it might be slightly different.
Yeah,
in an email update, by the time he got to the website, they disappeared. Yeah, they sell out. They sell out really quick.
The colon raider. I saw that and I was like, I need to mention this comment, but not sound like.
Yeah. If you a lot of times
they just say Cylon afterwards.
Yeah,
so
yeah. If you are subscribing to the eModels email updates, yeah, if you get an eModels update and it comes through on your email and you like something on it, slap it in your basket because it won't be there long.
Yeah,
same
it's
as
like
what's
when we
in store.
show. Yeah, it's like when we show stuff off on this stream. When we do what's in store and you see something you like, if you want it, get it there and then. Because quite often when we show stuff in the what's in store, it's sold out by the end of the show. So yeah, and I'm still giggling in my head about Colon Raider. That's just the best thing ever.
Yeah, yeah.
Rhodey's asking, has anyone got the problem that you bought a model because you loved it, but you don't build it because you're scared of all the parts and you're scared you'll mess it about?
Nothing ventured, nothing gained.
I think, as I've got, I used to make the mistake of buying. No, thinking about it, no, I don't think so. Because not since I was like a kid. I think now I'm older, I know to do a little bit of research, and if I think something looks brilliant and then look online and go, oh, it's a resin kit, nah, or something like that, then I'll be like, oh, no, maybe not. Actually, no, I'll correct that. The Fine Molds Millennium Falcon, I didn't realise that was quite as complex as it was when I got it, but it came out all right.
You finished it?
Yeah.
For me,
I built two, Chris. I built two.
For me, it's only recently that I've become sort of distracted from the kit I'm already building. You're building one kit and you think, oh, shiny thing, and you go off at something else. It's only recently I've been doing that, but I'm not the sort to go out and spend money on another kit when I've got one in front of me, because I'm too tight for that. I'll build the one I've got first, and then go buy the shiny new one, and by that time, another shiny new one to come along. But no, if I buy a kit, I'll build it. I won't stash them. I'll build it first.
I say that, and then I've got a stash of kits I need to build.
The bike scared me, but once I jumped in and started it, it was really enjoyable. So yeah, have a go.
We didn't buy that one, though, did you?
No, but it's still scary.
Spinny Crate says they're talking about the Blake 7 Liberator. He says he've not seen anybody making a kit. I don't know if there's a kit. There probably is a garage kit somewhere.
Well, it was only built out of cornflake packets and toilet roll tubes anyway.
Yeah. bits of tissue and spaghetti.
It was,
I don't know if there. I think there is a kit, but I can't remember anything about it, and it's probably quite a long time.
It had a toilet cistern on the front, didn't it? And then it had a Kleenex tissue roll on the back.
There'll be a bit of food mixer in there somewhere.
Yeah, and then it had the 3 pods. It had 3 pods, didn't it? I'm sure it was that one. It had 3.
Yeah, the 3 tubes.
It was a ball and then
3 pointy tubes.
Yeah.
But when they showed it flying, it was always the wrong way around in my mind.
It went pointy end forward, didn't it? The ball was at the back.
Yeah, and it was like stuff. And Simon D says there was a Comet Miniatures Liberator, but it's very expensive. TK mentioned his Horton HO229 as the kit that was a lot more of a nightmare once he got it.
That's a good question. Demolish 56 says, which is your favourite model company? Yeah, I'll let you guys go first while I think about it. And then
Chris, you go first.
I don't really have a favourite. I mean, they all do different things differently. I've got a favourite scale, as I'm sure people are aware. So,
what's our favourite scale, Chris?
It's quite small. But as I've tied myself into the 144 stuff, it does limit what I'm not able to build, but what I like to build. So Rev will do a lot of stuff that fits. That might not be the greatest company ever, but they make some nice stuff. So I'll build some of that. And the Zvezda have done a few, which I've never heard of before I picked up the first one and built that. But I'm not that bothered by the make. I try them and see what happens.
For me, I would say I was torn between 2, but they're quite different. And everybody will know this anyway. And it changes all the time. So right at the moment, I'd say my favourite glue together kits are Games Workshop's Warhammer stuff, because they're just great fun. And my other favourite manufacturer is Bandai for non-glue kits, for push-fit kits.
What sort of kits do they make?
Oh, many things. Many kinds of things. Star Wars, they do Dragon Ball Z stuff, they do many...
anime sort of stuff. Yeah.
Yes, they do, many fictional things. I can hear mum laughing downstairs as I'm cornered. So yes, for push fit kits, I say Bandai, and for glue together kits, right now I'd say Warhammer, Games Workshop. Of course, a year from now, I'll have found something else that captures me. So there'll probably be 2 different answers by then.
Speedy Q8 says, "Is it Transformers you're talking about?"
No, not Transmorphers.
That's a question. As for me, I'm a bit like Fox. It's the kit of the moment. So by next week it could be something else. But yeah, I'm quite liking the trumpeter at the moment because there's bags of detail in it. I have liked Tamiya. Everybody must like Tamiya because they have such a fantastic range of subjects, and detail is usually pretty good.
Yeah, well, I went through, when I was younger, I went through a big phase of modern armored vehicles, World War II models and stuff, and to me it was the bee's knees at that point.
We've had a burst of hello mums.
Yes, hello. Everybody saying hello, mum. So everybody's taste changed at that point. I was big into armor. I'm not really into that kind of much anymore, but that doesn't say I'll never go back to it. So just right now, I'm kind of in a sci-fi kick. So no, my taste will change. Everybody's tastes change over the years. I don't think I'll be making the kind of things I make now in 20 years' time. I'll have moved on to something else new and shiny. So,
no.
Joanna's asked if you're talking about a particular Eagle transporter. You'll know.
There's a shout of hello from downstairs.
It's a question for you, Fox. Is it that right?
Yes, but yes, it is a very expensive model though. So it's more of a treat model, that one. They did. I don't know if they've got the non-special edition one in stock. They might have. They had both. I don't know if both are in stock though.
I did look it up before, and I forgot to take note of what's in store. I think there is some Eagle specials in store. You'll have to check.
Yes, the difference between the two is the special is basically the standard kit, but it has a billion more decals. Yeah. And real nice cartograph decals. So. Spinny Crate says, "How is your Space Marine and armor build going, Fox?" I showed it at the start.
You must have missed. You came in late, obviously.
Yeah, came in late.
Yeah, you can stay behind as well. If you missed anything, there will be questions asked later on.
Oh, Gareth Redfern, thank you very much. Says, "Hi guys, liking the Warhammer stuff, Fox." Thank you very much, Gareth. Yes, as you can see, it's coming on. I'll show it again. It's been given a base coat now, just a couple of different blue colours. I'm using the Vallejo Game Colour Air. I quite like the Vallejo Game Colours to airbrush. They're quite thick and stodgy, so you have to thin them a fair bit, but they go on really nice. So I've been given a couple of coats of blue. You've got my AML 90 there with the completely not realistic, big, massive dozer blade on the front. Getting all the heretics and things out of the way. Loads of stuff glued all over it, and it was interesting to look at as a real life armor vehicle, but now it's got loads of greebles and tubes and smoke dispensers and things stuck all over it. It looks a million times better. And I've got the guys are all primed. There's loads of dudes, but I've got a load of them primed and ready. So I'm in the middle of filming this now, so I need to get all the chipping and weathering and decals and stuff done on this.
That's the one that's just got wheels in it. It's no track.
Yeah, just got wheels.
Yeah.
So I need to get all the paint, all the chipping and weathering and everything done on that, put the decals on it. Once that's done, I can then jump onto the figures. And what I'll probably do is, because they're Warhammer stuff, and as we know, eModels right now don't sell the Warhammer stuff, I'll just do more of a how to paint figures kind of thing on those. So I've already built and primed them. So that'll be more how I paint figures. And then once that's done, we'll do the diorama, which I haven't figured out what I'm going to do yet.
Well, yeah. Wait till Ted Skipperton comes out with an eMopen how to build a diorama video.
The one thing I have found is, because a couple of people have said it actually looks really Games Workshop-y, it's actually good fun to take a real life vehicle and stick just other stuff on it to make it look slightly fictional, sci-fi or post-apocalyptic. So
in true A-Team style.
Yeah, I'd really recommend it.
No planes.
Yeah, I ain't getting on a plane, fool. I ain't eating a hamburger. Yeah, if you've got like a big bits box with all bits from tanks and planes or whatever you make, and you've just got loads of bits of sprue and stuff lying around, and you've got all the pieces you've never used, get yourself a little kit, like a real wheel vehicle, plane, a car, or a tank, or whatever, and just have a big old kit bash, because I had so much fun sticking stuff all over that. Because it's the best bit, the absolute best bit, and I'll see if I can take it off, is the guns on the front, the twin-linked autocannons. Now, this comes with normally a 90mm gun on the front, and I had a big stash of like Warhammer things from tanks and all these different weapons that go on the front, and none of them fitted. But that one just happened to fit perfectly, and I'm like, that is perfect. And when that happens, when you get like a kit and stick a completely different piece from a different kit on, and it fits beautifully, it's like the best feeling, because you're like, I'm a master, yes. So I'd recommend it. But having a kit bash session, just get yourself a cheap kit, could be anything. Go into your bits box where all your spares and old parts that you haven't used are, and just don't think about it. Just glom everything together and see what comes out. It might be like a Mad Max style car. It might be some kind of futuristic sci-fi. Could be anything. Just do it. It's great fun. You're not thinking. There's no rules. Just slap it on.
Slap it on.
Joanna Hammond just said, Fox, I noticed you kit bashed. Where'd you get all the spare parts from? There's looking on eBay, and a lot of them are just rip-offs.
I had a small collection of bits anyway.
So, when you've been building for a while, they sort of collect.
Yeah, I mean, I've only got a small collection of actual Warhammer bits, but I've got a good collection of non-Warhammer stuff, but I didn't use any of those. I had a small collection of bits in my bits box for Warhammer stuff. I ordered there's a tank accessory sprue I ordered from Games Workshop, and it actually it's a sprue of accessories for their tank kits. And I also went onto eBay and just found a few people that were selling like a bag of tank parts and a bag of weapons and a bag of, associated vehicle bits. Just have a hunt around. There's lots of people that sell bits, and all they do is they collect all the bits from their kits that they don't use, stick them in a bag and sell them to you. So
I didn't know that. I didn't know people did that.
Yeah, because you do get so many spare bits. Like there's people that will sell you a bag of 200 heads for the Space Marines, because you get extra heads and stuff in the kits, and they just pile up. So yeah, have one around. There's loads of people selling just bags of bits, but kit bashing is so much fun. I'd recommend it.
We'll have a scratch building next.
Yep.
Well, no, not scratch building, because that involves stress and sweating and panic. I'm doing this. It's like if you're in a rut when you get into the point where you're bored and you're losing your mojo and you're like, oh, I don't really know what I want to build next. And just have a kit bash, because you're kind of half building a kit, And it's like, you remember when you're at school and you got a piece of cartridge paper and some PVA glue and like a bowl of dried macaroni, and you used to make pictures out of it by sticking the macaroni on it? That's what you're doing. That's all you're doing. You're sticking macaroni on cartridge paper. That's what it is. It's great, and you can peel the glue off your hands and everything. So it's like going back to childhood. You can just stick things on and see what comes out. And there's no rules. Just have fun with it.
Yeah.
Michael Jackman's got a sort of comment question for. I think he's been talking to Ted. Said he managed to get a stand for the Typhoon, Ted.
Oh yeah, I did see that when I was going to answer
but
that.
now I've got to somehow make the main wheels round instead of bulged, as they don't bulge in flight. So he's obviously doing it just having taken off or whatever. So
there must be some out there somewhere, even off another kit. As Fox just said, you might be able to find some off another kit. Yeah, people are often wanting to make the round wheels squashed and not the other way around.
Yeah, I've seen things about how to make round wheels squash to add weight to the kit, but I've not seen it.
Take them back.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely. There's probably someone that makes like a parts kit, like accessories for it. Even check on eModels in case it's like a little sort of Edouard type thing. They do lots of photo etch, but they do other bits as well. But there's probably people that sell spares, and there's probably, if you go to an other leading 3D printed parts type website, we'll leave it at that. Somebody probably makes those parts as 3D prints.
Yeah, they will be. Yeah, there must be an old kit. I don't know. Yeah, I don't like. You might be able to find a kit if the wheels fit from a Hurricane or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, other than sort of building them up with filler and then sort of, carving them back.
I mean, yeah, you could sand the bulge out, rebuild it in filler, and then very carefully scribe the pattern back in. One option. Scott Sutherland says Ted is still in focus. I think that's the most.
I know. Yeah, we haven't done watching. Yeah, we haven't moved off screen yet. I haven't touched anything. I've kept my hands in my pockets. So yeah, it won't be for much longer. Don't worry, we won't lose out on having me out of focus.
I just need to excuse myself for one moment.
Right, in that time, we'll go and have a look at the emails.
Before we do that, Sprugler Alex just asked what the white bar is behind me, the one that looks like a curtain rail. If you're talking about this one here, this sort of thing, it's my bench light. I've made it myself. I've got a dimmer switch for it here. It's got you can't really see it, but
a bit like a disco there.
Yeah, you can turn it up and down. Party. It's adhesive LED strip light that I put onto some plexicard just to get it. It goes over behind me as well, just so I can see what I'm doing.
And not getting, it just appears to us the looking in that it would get in the way, but
it doesn't. Well, if I'm working at this side, then it's here and I'm looking under it, and if I'm spraying, I'm looking over it, and it worked. It wasn't quite what I had in mind when I designed it and thought I'd build it, but I was limited to how it would support itself being an arch, so it works.
Yeah. Oh, right. Oh, yeah. If it works, use it. Yeah. Right. Joanna says, one thing I've noticed, I have so many paints behind me. You mean this lot? Yeah. Yeah, I've got those and
more
over here and lots more in the drawers here. Yeah, it's just a matter of, after you've been doing it for a few years, they mount up. As these here Valero ones. Vallejo. Was this a self question? Right. Anyway, there you go. This is the Vallejo section range up here, and up here, this is the big range. Down here is Mr. Hobby over here. Yeah, they're all sort of mixed paints. I'll buy the paints as I need them. Rather than I've seen some people going out and buying whole sets, and they might only use 2 or 3 out of the set. So I'll buy paints as I need them. And a good hint, if you are out buying paint, buy, as I think we said it last week, buy an extra another paint, and you'll soon build up a set of paints. Yeah. So,
I have to admit, I've actually run out of space because I've got like this. I keep getting more paints, and I've got all the game colours and then model air and stuff there. I've got ammo stuff in these drawers. I've got more ammo stuff. I've got ammo stuff. There's ammo stuff up there. There's 2 biscuit tins down there full of Citadel stuff. And there's that metal thing there, which is, I don't know if you can see it, which is chock full of Tamiya paints. That some of which are over 25
I forgot
years old.
about that. Yeah, I've got a big tin of paint over there. Humbrol tinlets.
Yeah. Keep your biscuit tins. Keep your biscuit tins because I've got like 6 tins full of paints.
Eat more biscuits.
Paint when I want a particular colour, but it means I don't have them all lying around.
For the more those among you that will notice that the paint racket is now full. Last week it was empty, but
Has the red lid?
yes, but because the build is finished, all the paints have gone back in the rack.
Can't see the red lid though. I think your camera's slightly to your left.
It's there. It's there. Yeah, I can spot it. I've spotted the red lid.
Yeah. See, the problem I've got is that I'd love to have a paint rack, which would make my life so much easier, but I can't really drill things into the walls because the bricks here won't take the weight of anything. So if I put something in the wall, even with no more nails and plas plugs and everything, it'll just fall out. So I can't really risk bolting anything to the wall. So I'm kind of stuck with biscuit tins and shelves and stuff at the moment.
Joanna goes on to say she buys base colours and she makes what she requires. Yeah, that's all right if you're just doing a one-off job or something. But when you come to the end of your build and you touch up, you can't get that colour again.
Yeah,
unless people are saying they can see the red one. I just resized my video window and I can see it now. I've got it a little bit smaller so I can see the chat properly. So
yeah, Tony Black, yeah, it's top of the profit. Kurt Cluffington says, "Does the old school telephone work?" Yeah,
someone else was late, were they?
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Hello, Pete. Yeah, it's all right. Yes, yeah, right. That big ship hit you. All right. Okay. Then. Yeah, you need lights. Lights. Yep. Yeah, Peter's still on it. No.
Well, hang on. If he's not got lights, then why is Gav following him?
Yeah, he turned him off to stop Gav following him.
Ah, because Gav thinks he's a rave.
Gav's following him.
Rave. Head towards that.
Yeah.
Oh, Frankie Goes to Hollywood said, "Is there a brand of paints which I should try for my first experience with an airbrush?" I like the Vallejo Air.
Yeah, they're all right.
They're pre-made for an airbrush. You don't have to do any thinning or mixing or anything. You just get one and squirt it into the cup, and you're away.
I think, yeah, Ted actually said similar earlier on. Is go for one that's pre-mixed.
Yeah.
Just because you can worry about that stuff later.
Yeah.
If you're just starting out, then something that's already thin enough to go through most airbrushes. At worst, it might need a few drops of thinner here and there for some of the colours. But
however, don't start with the ammo paints to airbrush because they're a totally different.
Unless that's the only ones you're ever going to use, in which case start with them and just stick with them.
Yeah.
Ammo have a kind of learning curve to their paints for airbrushing, so I wouldn't normally recommend a beginner start with ammo, just because it's very easy to use them, but it's very easy to use them wrongly.
Although I'm not saying that if you haven't used another paint before and you go straight into ammo,
it's true.
You wouldn't know any different. So,
but it's I think it's the fact it's easy to get them wrong without realizing.
Yeah,
even I
they are less forgiving.
Yeah, you have to do them in a certain way, and they can give you beautiful results. But if you get it a little bit wrong, it can go to pot. So I would say maybe not for a beginner, but yeah, Vallejo Air, Model Air, they're pre-tinned for airbrush.
Yeah, just briefly, if anybody wants to know about spraying ammo paints, mist coats. Start with mist coats.
And end with mist coats.
Don't just slap it on because it'll just peel and orange peel and everything, and it'll be horrible.
Yes, you have to.
Mist coats. Yeah.
So, like every other acrylic paint, you can't just black them on. You have to build them up in thin, misty layers. Otherwise, you will get lumpy paint. Yeah. They are brilliant paints. You just have to use them right.
Yeah. There isn't oil on your kit. There isn't finger mark. There isn't oil off your skin or anything like that. There isn't release agent. It's just the way the paint works. You need the mist coats, the first 2-3 coats of mist coats, just to break the surface tension to allow the paint to go on and settle down properly.
I'd actually say all the coats need to be mist coats just to be safe.
Yeah.
Tony Black says Vallejo paint smells edible. Pledge 2 times more shine smells like strawberry daiquiri.
You shouldn't be talking about edible things because Michael Jackerman says, no pizza, they won't deliver because of snow.
Well, if it's any comfort, Michael, I've not had my tea yet, and by the time the stream finishes, it'll be too late to have anything for my tea because I wasn't hungry before we started, and I'm starving.
Is that where you just went?
No, I went for a wee. I went for a wee. I always go for a wee in the middle of a stream.
Well, I'd phone up a pizza for you, but Pete, I can't get through because Pete's still got the phone off the hook at the other end.
Does he not know about? See, I know you naturally gravitate towards the red button, Ted, and I don't know why, but Pete seems to be the opposite. He gravitates away from the red button and never hangs up.
Yeah, that's it. It's been there all week.
I had to buy it. The only reason I got my iPhone 6 because I had an iPhone 5 is because he's still on my iPhone 5. Probably he's never hung up. It's been about 2 years now.
Do you want it? Yes.
Oh, do you
yes, I do. Yes.
I thought you'd spot that.
Yeah.
Joanna, that's really good you offered that because we were talking before we went live and he was like, how do I ask for that without actually being really cheeky?
Skipper scale models. Or Ron Jacket.
Raging Basis says he missed his tea because he was practicing and working on his solo sections. Jolly good. I missed my tea. I was kind of hungry, but I was so busy gluing little space dudes together that I kind of didn't realize what time it was. And I've got to tell you, right? Like I said at the start, I'm making an army for myself. So I'm basically making these little dudes. Let's find one that's got both his arms on. I'm basically making these little dudes, right? That's like 2 hours of work to do one dude. So how do these people who build like armies of hundreds of dudes actually not just die of old age or desperation or get bored? It's great fun, but I'm so slow. I'm so slow at doing it.
But yeah, maybe the batch paint. Maybe you have to paint everything yellow.
Oh, it's not the painting; it's the building.
Oh, right.
Putting them together because you got to get all the I'm doing all the seam lines and getting them all off.
But yeah, will these gamers not have kid brothers? They slap round the head and build that for me.
Nah, because if they want them to look good, they'll paint them properly and they'll get all the seam lines off. It's great fun though. It is great fun. You get this little dumpy dude with a grumpy face with a rifle. It's great.
Interesting. But yeah, interesting to find this out. Yeah, I'll be finding this out shortly, I guess.
Yes. The other day we were all having a conversation. A group of us were having a conversation in one of Smooth's hangouts, and Ted was remarking on how he's the only person in the entire group of people that were there who didn't have a Warhammer kit. So about 10 minutes later, I said, Ted, I've fixed that for you. Give it a couple of days. I got a text message this morning. Brilliant, your Games Workshop package is on the way. I went, oh, what have I ordered? Oh, no, it's going to Ted, isn't it? Oh, I got all excited and forgot.
Yeah, I'll be hiding behind the sofa when the postman comes tomorrow.
Yeah, I will just tell you, Ted, it's not a Baneblade.
So
you can rest easy on that count. I wouldn't spend that much on you.
Do you realise, though, I'll get a... What have you been buying now?
Hey?
When I walk into the living room with a box, what have you been buying now? Nothing. You have. What have you been buying?
No, Fox got it for me. No.
Yeah. Could you send a note to her endorse, please?
Yeah. Well, I could just say now, it's me. I did it. It's my fault.
Yeah, save this bit of video. Make a note.
I think they'll be shouting.
Anyway, Michael Chapman's asking about what timing it's time for Watching Store. It's really time for Watching Store, so let's get the eModels mails done.
Whoa, do you want to go out and come back in again? Because that whole sentence just went totally out of the window, didn't it?
The sentence was out of focus.
You used all the right words, but not necessarily in the right order. Have you locked it on you, Ted? Have you put the cat out? Is the gas off?
No, I haven't done that yet. We'll do we'll do the eModels emails.
Well, we've got to do the giveaways, don't forget, as well. The giveaway from last week.
Yeah,
We're going to be here all night again, aren't we? Yeah, Pete did say I could give away. He said from the south of Ireland in his little 3.5-foot yacht with a big super tanker heading towards him. So we could do a giveaway.
You know what you missed, though, Ted? You missed a chance. He's in the south of Ireland. You could have been. That would be an ecumenical match.
That's where he's going. That's why he's decided to go to south of Ireland, because Father Ted. He's that boat far away.
No, it's just very small, Ted.
All right, from Dave Barker. It's great to see you be making dials. He said he's made a plaster of Paris rock faces with tin foil and creased them up to form a mould. But he's thinking of ways to make a mould to cast brick walls. Have we any idea how to do this, or should I just bite the bullet and get a shop bought mould? I'd just go for a shop bought mould.
What is it, for brick wall type stuff?
Yeah, if he wants to make plaster casts or brick walls, I think
I guess shop bought mould.
Go buy it. Yeah, buy them. But the time and effort you take to scribing all them lines and getting the joints and the pointing right in them bricks, yeah, I think I just go buy one, Dave. There.
Yeah.
Or you could buy a brick wall model size, obviously. Or you could phone up Juicens and ask for 2,000 bricks and build your own.
And then somehow shrink it.
Yeah.
So invent a shrink ray.
Yeah. Not that we would condone copying anybody else's work, but I have seen people that have taken molds that they've probably already made themselves and they've cast them onto there.
Yeah, Tim Bick says bite the bullet. They're about £8.
Yeah,
So
and
it's
it'll
not
last
exactly a big bullet. So
it'll probably last you forever. And another one from Dave, Shiny Cars. He's an undercoating question. See, it's getting late in the day now. I'm a gin.
I know.
He's priming in white at the moment, but what primer or undercoat should he use on what top colour to achieve the best results? He's undercoated the Corvette in white and the top coat is purple. How much of a difference would it be made if he'd undercoated in black or silver? I honestly don't know the answer to that one.
lots.
Yeah.
The silver.
It would make it brighter, wouldn't it?
Yeah, the silver would work well over either a black or preferably a gloss black primer coat. Even though you're not.
No, if he'd undercoated them in silver and then he put purple over the top.
Oh, okay. It's
purple's quite
see the silver through because it's very shiny.
Yes, purple's quite translucent, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, purple would look nice and bold and dark with a black undercoat. With a metallic undercoat, it would still be nice and bold, but it might look a little bit more brightness to it. You're not going to get like a candy effect with a normal paint. It's not what you're looking for, but the color underneath the color you're spraying makes a massive amount of difference. The best thing is to test the general rule of thumb is if it's a light color, so white, yellow, some blues, creamy colors, anything light, especially yellow, then you always want to use as light an undercoat as possible. Something light or white or creamy colored would work best under yellow, for example. If it's a dark color, so your darker blues, your deeper reds, not all reds, but your deeper dark sort of maroony reds, browns, they always work better on a dark base coat, so like black. Reds are a difficult one because yellow will suck no matter what you do, so always put it under a white undercoat. Red, if it's a dark maroony burgundy color, then a black undercoat can actually give a real nice effect. But if you want a real bright Ferrari red, you need more of a white undercoat because red is quite a transparent color. So
when I was doing the bike in red, I was trying to get a match to a Tamiya rattle can red, which I didn't have. So I was using actually a Ferrari red, but I did some test pieces on some scrap sprues and things of different primers and to see what it did, and the white and the black and grey, and I ended up using, I think, a mix of white and grey to get a primer that was a very light grey, and it with the red on top of that, it made it just the right colour for me. But I was really shocked at the difference it made in different primers to the paint. I thought when you're putting paint on, it doesn't really make any difference, but it really does, because paint isn't completely opaque. You can still see through it, and it shades it and makes it look really different.
A good exercise that if it's worth anybody, I did this a long time ago, and I need to do it again because I forgot most of it, but a good thing to do to get an idea of what the effect can be is to get yourself some strips of plastic and paint just different colors on it, like white, cream, a light brown, a dark brown, and then go darker from white to black. Get a strip and do 2 or 3 of them, and then over one of them paint one single red color. Just completely cover it with the same color, just like that. On the next one, do a yellow. On the next one, do a blue, and just do some other colors that you might tend to use a lot. And what you'll see is, even if it's a really opaque color and you paint it thoroughly, you will still see a difference between the dark end and the light end. And it's worth having that as a little reference strip. I had one years ago. I've got rid of it now, but it's worth making yourself some little reference strips. So you have written down different primer colours or different base coat colours with just that same red over all of it, but strips of the colours and then red over the top of blue or green. And you can see, and you can say, right, well, I know if I do this, if I do that one was brown primer and it's got red over it and it looks like that, that's the colour I want. So make yourself a little guide, because you'll learn how the base colours affect the colours on top with the various prime colours and whatever other colours you want. But you also have that, keep that to one side. It's a handy reference. I need this red. Well, I know I need, if I might look at it and think, right, I need to make this colour. And I know red with this colour undercoat makes like that. So it's a good little reference guide for you. Plus, it's kind of good fun.
Yeah, next time you're in the pound shop, Dave, buy yourself some spoons. Spoons. Have a stock of spoons pre-sprayed, so that you always have right. What colour's that going to look like? So you paint your spoon. And yeah.
Kurt Flugelhorn says gold is a good undercoat for bright red, and Felice says pink undercoat works red for bright reds.
Yep. Strangely enough, brown is a good undercoat for gold.
Ryan Riley said he sprayed purple over silver this weekend. Check out his post on Instagram, Sprue Wrangler. So even light coats will get your desired effect.
Yep. Just keep in mind that, because even the most opaque colour will still be affected by the colour underneath it, more or less.
So have a good day. Let us know how we go on, what turns out best.
Dave says, great ideas, thanks.
Okay.
Yeah. The other thing to bear in mind, of course, is if you're doing a model with chipping on it, sometimes it's worth ignoring what effect the colour will have, because you might want to make it look rusty. And there's nothing faster than doing a primer colour that's rust coloured, and then your base colour, whatever colour you want it to be, the vehicle, and use either masking fluid or chipping fluid or anything like that to use the primer rust colour as the rust chips. So you can paint it rust colour, spray your colour on top, and then remove the chips however you've done it, so you've got rusty chips showing through with your base colour. So sometimes you can kind of ignore whatever effect the base colour will have on the top colour, because it might be a battered, weathered looking model anyway, and you can use it to your advantage. Like if with Ted's U-boat, if Ted was being really, really accurate to the U-boat, I don't know if he's done this, but if he was being completely accurate, he'd paint a bright red colour underneath the grey of the hull, because on many U-boats the anti-rust coating underneath was bright red. So when the paint chipped away, you get these bright red paint chips. And of course, if you're spraying a grey over a bright red, it's probably going to look terrible, unless you put a lot on. But then if you're being accurate, of course, you'll use the bright red, because that's what the colour was actually used underneath it.
Yeah, and as well, it looks, people have done it in it, and it's
it looks wrong though if you see it.
Historically accurate, and if you start chipping it through to the red, just look right. I
had the same choice to make when I did my U-boat, and I was like, I want it to be accurate, but I don't want bright red. It just looks, no. Sometimes you have to kind of do a few shortcuts.
Which I think the colour call-outs on the trumpeter call out for the submarine says this should be light grey, but this from Life Colour is actually the correct grey. Now it's a real weird paint, because from here it looks green, and then on camera it looks grey down here now. Yeah, it's a brilliant colour, and I think it looks better than it would if it was light grey. So
I thought for a minute then that you were building that on a diorama base and having it underwater and forgetting.
I'm not going to build the rest. I'm just going to build this. I'm going to make this a seascape now, and then just put the crew on the top.
He sent Pete an email saying, Pete, you don't need to make an entire shelf for it now. Just one corner of the shelf.
Yeah, just bin the rest.
I'll throw the rest away. I'm keeping the conning tower.
He's keeping the rest of it to make a little sort of drinks bar.
Spidey Q8 says, it does look grey blue. It looks blue there, but then it looks grey, and then it looks green. Yeah, brilliant colour. But I think it looks like an authentic wartime colour. It's like
the funny thing is that our good friend Vincent over at Mr. Lilith's Model Making this weekend just made a little tiny Japanese U-boat. I think it was a Japanese submarine, World War II Japanese submarine, which the whole submarine he's made is about the same size as the conning tower on Ted's. They did a comparison. It's like, my submarine would fit inside your conning tower.
Yeah, brilliant. Anyway, time. There's another question here on the emails, but we'll have a look at that later. It's time to go over for what's in store before, if any of you have to go to bed. We'll do a what's in store first. So, should we go?
Let me just give some stuff away. Don't forget.
Should we give that away after what's in store? Yeah,
we've got to do last week's as well.
Yeah, we'll give away, and after what's installed, we'll give away. We'll do last week's prize winner.
Yes.
Yeah, right. 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 I've got to now work this all out. Press screen share. No, I
Lock
haven't.
it on you. Lock it on you. There you go.
Lock it on me. I'll be with you in a moment.
Bear
Bear with me.
And now some local scenes. Normal service will be resumed as soon as possible.
Last time on what's in store.
I've locked it on me. I'm going to share. And I'm screen sharing, so you can see everything there. I'll go down here and we'll pick this up. Can you see that? I hope you can see that. This is what we're doing this week.
Can everybody make? Yeah, is it locked on you? Because we still see everybody else, but I think we see.
Yeah, it's locked on me.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. This week we're doing space.
Space.
Yeah, no space marines, because eModels don't do space marines, but they do a lot of other stuff. And this is new in store this week. It's the Dragon 1/72nd scale Saturn V with Skylab. That's
Ted, you need to scroll that image up, but make the rocket launching sound at the same time. It looks like the rocket's launching.
Yeah, there's no pictures of it yet. Or is there? No reviews yet. Yeah, if you built it and you want to review it. Saturn V with Skylab. Yeah, real. When was Skylab? Was that the 70s or 80s?
That was 70s, that was. 70s? Yeah, it didn't last very long. But that is a huge kit.
It's going to be massive, isn't it?
Yeah, and if anybody's got fond old memories of the old Airfix 1/72nd scale Saturn V, yeah, this will be a lot better.
Yeah.
It's a dragon. You can't go wrong with dragon. Is it
Yeah.
about 3 feet tall or so? I don't know the exact size, but if I remember right, it's
big,
about.
isn't it?
Probably bigger than that. I've got a 144 Saturn V that I haven't built yet, but that's quite big by the looks of it. So that's going to be twice the size of that.
I seem to remember the real thing was like 14 miles long or something, or there's thousands of miles tall or something. I don't know.
Remember when they used to launch? They had a camera on the tower here, and then it took off, and it seemed to take forever to go past the camera, didn't it?
It was so big that to get to space, they just walked up to the top of it and they're in space. Hooray, we're here!
Yeah, they walked up to the top and jumped off, and they were on the moon.
365 foot tall in real life.
What?
365 feet tall. Says.
Yeah. Phil Lewis says the Airfix one was 1/144th scale.
Right,
so yeah, this will be massive.
All right. So if anybody's got the Google converter out and 1/72nd scale in 365 feet tall, how tall is it going to be? Somebody will tell us in a minute in chat.
Yeah. I'll do some maths on my calculator. And I'll use my brain as in my calculator.
It's going to be about a mile tall, I think. Yeah, just a rough guess.
Yeah, it's going to be the height of a small child.
It should be 5.06 something per foot.
What?
I don't even know.
Can't you just divide 365 by 72?
365 divided by 72 is gone wrong. 365. Oh, it's 368 divided by 72 is 5.06944444.
So it's going to be 5 foot tall.
Could it really be 5 foot tall?
Yeah, that's doable.
Wow, that's huge. Don't take us at our word, folks. We don't know. We're just making up numbers now. But...
next week, next week's lesson will be on calculus.
Yeah, there are people in chat saying 5 foot tall. The Airfix one would be about 2 foot. So
yeah,
twice that. So yeah,
we're assuming that quote of 365 feet long is actually we're going off that completely. So we can blame it all on whoever said that if it's wrong. If you do get it and it's like 2.5 foot tall, well, yeah.
Is it going to be like is it going to be like Margot off The Good Life and send it back because it was an inch too short? I ordered a 5 foot rocket. It's only 4 foot.
Michael Jackman says the Airfix one was about 3 foot tall. He built one. I think everybody over the age of 40 has probably built one.
Right. So yes, Dragon 1/72nd scale with Skylab. £126. It's already it's brand new in store this week. It's already discounted, so there's 28 quid. There's 8 quid off it, something like that. £18 off it there.
And that's the kind of model that will just absolutely dominate any display area because it'll be like massive.
Yeah.
You're saying 5 feet tall, but it might not be. Just don't take us at our word.
Apparently, Google NASA says 363 feet, so he was close.
Yeah.
And someone's got Phil Kett's got the Revel 1441 next to him, and that's about 2.5 feet. So
Wow.
yeah, 5 foot is about right.
Yeah,
Wow.
yes, yeah. So
I know people that aren't as tall as that. That's ridiculous.
yeah.
It's bigger than children.
Dear Pete, I have bought your rocket, but I am only 4'6" and I can't put the top on it.
Does it come with a step ladder?
It's like, yeah, if you don't have kids, just get one of them.
Apparently, it's the same height as St Paul's Cathedral. I think he means the real thing, not the model.
I was going to say.
Yeah, well, there we yeah, that created a lot of discussion anyway.
Yes.
On the next one, this is the AMT 1400 Klingon Vorcha class.
Vorcha.
It's Klingon, you've got to say it.
Do I have to say it in Klingon? Vorcha. Vorcha. You have to say it in Klingon.
Kapla, Ted, kapla.
Vorcha. It sounds like a dance. Yeah. And tonight, the couple will dance the Vorcha.
Vorcha. Hey.
The Vorcha. It's a Klingon class battle cruiser.
Notice how me and Chris go quiet to let Ted struggle with not knowing what the hell it is.
It's fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big heavy Klingon cruiser.
Yeah.
One of the bigger ships.
Yeah. Obviously, I watched Star Trek, and I can't recall seeing a Vorcha class battle cruiser.
Yeah, this is next gen onwards, Ted. This is not.
Right.
This is not your father's Star Trek.
I thought it was probably because the Starship Enterprise just blasted them out of the sky, and you never saw them.
Oh.
So if you want to build, if you've already built the Starship Enterprise, which series, whichever episode, whichever version, you can build this one to go along with it and put it at the under of a shelf.
Do you know how you can tell that Ted doesn't do sci-fi? Because no one says Starship Enterprise; they just say Enterprise or USS.
The Enterprise.
Robert Blaylock says Habsosl.
Chard says it's Katanga class.
Katanga class. Spidicate says you can't paste hyperlinks on chat. I guess somebody just tried to paste a link. Yes, you guys can't paste links. We can.
No, Joanna was asking how to drop a link. I think she's been working on Ted's spinning logo.
You'd drop him a message on Facebook, Joanna.
Yeah, I'll be there. Yeah, I'm always on Facebook.
Yeah, I suggested emailing him.
Right, the next one. This one is huge. It's the Mobius.
Menu discipline.
This is planned for Chris's next eModels build, I think.
Yeah, because it is 1/144th.
Yeah, but I think that's pushing it a bit far.
No, I think you're contractually obliged to build this because it's in your scale.
It's going to be like 12 foot long or something, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's it.
People have to go back to Google now and find out how big the Discovery from 2001 was, please.
If you've still got Google open, its ages from 15 and up. Yeah, so you're all right there. You fit in that one.
Yep.
It's skill level 3. Yeah, you could just about make that. 2001 Space Oddity. Oh, I don't remember it. I never saw it.
Did you say Oddity?
Or Space Oddity.
You just said Oddity, didn't you?
Yeah, it's a Space Oddity.
That's a Bowie song, isn't it?
That's a Bowie song.
Ground control to Major Tom.
That is a legendary song, that is.
Trout and Chard says, I asked last week if they were getting this in. Yay.
Yay.
You asked. Yeah, you asked and we did.
Seymour Bobbington says, look, a tennis ball on a stick.
It's a big stick now.
Yeah, it must be long because it's got steel reinforcing bars in it. Yeah. Yep, so that's it. Yeah. What's the next pictures of it? All the instructions. Read this first and painting your kit. That tells you everything you need to do. Do not hurry. It says that. Do not hurry.
Does it actually say that in the instructions?
It says, do not hurry. Work carefully and patiently.
Yes. Yeah. Do not use fastness.
Use the Bob Ross method of model building.
Don't haste.
Pretty little stars.
I don't think there's actually. Is this a Mobius kit? Did you say the Pegasus?
Yes, Mobius.
Because there's been so few models of the Discovery ever made that to see one come up, especially from Mobius. Is it Mobius?
Yeah, Mobius.
Yes. Snap it up, because man, there's been so few kits that aren't like massive resin things and things like that. It's worth just snapping it up. And if you are, like we said before, remember, if you are interested in any of these kits, when we show these on screen, They can often be sold out before the end of the show. So if you are thinking about this while you're watching, get it in your basket.
Yeah, slap it in your basket.
Slap it in your basket.
Slap it in your basket. And don't forget to check out at the end of the show because you might miss out.
I can't do that, Dave. You
see what people are saying that the pods are a third-party add-on for it, but it does come with pod bay doors.
Yes.
It's 41 inches.
The pod bay doors?
Yeah, 41 inches long, it says there.
How long?
41 inches long.
That's
big.
That's big.
Significant, yes.
That's like 3.5 foot. No.
3.5 foot? Half a foot longer than mine. I made mine.
Yeah, it's a little bit about it there. It's a nuclear-powered deep space research aircraft. See, I learn something every day with it. When you come on eModels live stream, you learn something.
Michael Jackman says he thought 2010 was the best of the two films banned. No.
Detail thrusters, yeah. If Joanne's still around, this would be another project for lighting up. Yeah, there's any more pictures of it. Let's have a look at next pictures. Yeah, all the instructions. Yeah, there is a metal rod that goes right through the middle of it. So
I remember seeing the test shot of this on tested.com when they were at some model show and they had the guy from Mobius talking to Norm, and it does look quite big. And yes, it does have a metal rod going through the middle of it.
So there we go.
I just remember that now, actually.
Yeah. So we go. Try and close the window. Close that one. Yeah, so there's the Mobius 1/4 scale Discovery from Space Oddity, 2001 to 3. Right, next one, Pegasus. Another Pegasus Moon Raider spacecraft. I don't know anything about this. You guys
it's a made up thing, I think.
Right.
Based on some concept type things. I think this is based on, if I remember right, this is based on some German rocket engineer from World War II who had it might have been a von Braun design that was never actually made because they went for the Apollo, I think. I could be wrong. I know Werner von Braun had a lot of plans for moonlanders that were obviously completely stupid by today's standards, but I think this may be one of his conceptualized designs way back in before Apollo.
Yeah, I'm just trying. I can't see. Just wondering if we get the picture a bit bigger. Includes parts to build either crew or cargo transport versions. So
quite big. It's quite a delicate kit.
Yeah,
as in lots of tiny fiddly thin bits. So
lots of it.
An interesting, challenging build for this one. I've not built it, but I have seen it built. I've seen it. It's interesting. What if type model.
Now we'll move on to the next one. Whoa, look at this, folks.
Carry on, I'll just do the music.
Yeah, I think this is new in store as well. It hasn't been in store long. I haven't seen it before. This is the NPC Space 1999 nuclear waste area diorama with a 1/24th moon buggy. That's the guy. Let's see if we get a picture of it. In the orange
included.
Yeah, if you remember in the first episode where they're all driving around and then you get the big nuclear boom, and then the moon goes whee.
Well,
so this was a scale for your model, wasn't it? 1/24th?
No, my Eagle was 1/48th.
Was it 1/48th?
Yes.
Ah, right. So,
the actual filming miniature was 1/24th scale. The
right.
real on-screen full-size Eagle was 1/24th scale.
Right. Whereas, I might hang on. Let's go back a bit because the buggy is 1/24th.
Yes.
So the diorama,
one would assume, is also 1/24th.
Joanna's just said, "Fine, you win. I just bought the 2001 Discovery to build."
Yay!
Hey, we made a sale.
Hey, well done.
Yeah, well done. Yeah,
else wants one? I don't know how many they've got in stock. Go and grab one now.
Yeah, go grab one now. Yeah, grab it while it's there. Yes.
If you got the hang of it now. If you want it, grab it. Otherwise, it won't be there.
Slapping it. Yeah, we'll look forward to seeing that built with all the lights. Yes.
Yeah, you've done a Star Destroyer with 1 million fiber optics. I think you can pretty much build that quite easily now. I think you've. Joanna's basically. Not just, what's the phrase I'm looking for? I can't think of the phrase now, but yeah, that Star Destroyer, yeah, you're pretty good. You can build anything now.
Yeah. Anyway, the disposal area. Oh, I thought, not a dispersal area. It's got lights in it, and it's got this buggy in 1/24. That looks like the banana splits. La 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 la.
Well, it is actually based on a real vehicle, but we'll talk about that later.
Oh, okay. Yeah, could do. Yeah, yeah.
Tony Black says banana splits cars.
They're all real vehicles, aren't they?
Mm?
They're all real vehicles. The Eagle's a real vehicle from 1999. It's historical.
Yeah, Alan Carter was actually the guy that played Alan Carter was also a terrible pilot. That's why they hired him to kill Alan Carter.
Yeah, that's why there's no left, because he crashed them all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yep, that's it. Yeah, so if you have an Eagle, you want a diorama, and you've got lights on it, looks like it's a Beauty-O set, really.
Has it got a photo of the space buggy, moon buggy?
No, it hasn't. That's only one picture we've got. Yeah, just the
Trot Child says, "Yay!" Also ordered Discovery. Nice one.
All right, yeah, it's 1/48 scale accessories. I'm just reading it on the box now. 2 moon buggies with cargo, 2 nuclear waste control cones, 2 waste containment platforms, 8 hexagonal storage boxes, 8 lampposts, 2 lamppost bases, and 10 figures. And a bonus.
Is it 124th or 148th then? I'm confused.
148 scale. It's a 148 scale diorama with, strangely, a 1/24th scale buggy.
Oh, okay, so the buggy's like an extra bonus, really, isn't it?
Yeah, that could be closer than the diorama, which is far away.
Okay, that's true. So the diorama is perfect if you've already got, or you're thinking on getting one of the big Eagle kits, either the limited edition or the not limited edition. That's a perfect. If I'd known about that, I would have got Pete Mate to send me one of them, and I would have had all diorama.
Yeah.
With
it's got lights, includes lights, battery operated lights.
Yeah. So if you do happen to own a plan to get the big Eagle, get that as well.
All
instant diorama-ness.
Yeah. Yeah. So yep, that's it. Yeah. So if you want to get into dioramas, there you go. And finally for tonight, if
Teddy Black says those cones on the ground on that thing look like the engine bells from the Saturn V. Funnily enough, when it comes to TV model making, like for TV and movies, you'd be surprised how often the Saturn V engine bells actually appear. Like, for example, on the back of every spaceship ever. Quite commonly, probably are.
So Pete Mate could be sending the Eagle back, including.
No. Once I finish something, I move on from it.
Yeah, wait, it's got lights, and you're into lights now.
Yeah, you like lights.
Oh, no.
Anyway, finally for this section, if you've gone and bought everything, you can buy a paint set from MiG Space Fighters. Ammo by MiG Jimenez, Space Fighters, Sci-Fi Colors. A set of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 colors in there. I'm sure there must be. Let's have a look at some of the paints.
Ted?
Yeah.
Ammo by who did you say?
Ammo by MiG by Ammo MiG Jimenez.
Oh, you got it right, good girl.
Right, yeah. Here's some, obviously some of the results that have come from the paint sets. I'll find them. Let's go back. Oh, image. Okay.
There we go.
What's that, Ted?
That is it an X-Wing?
Oh,
so close.
Why has it got panels missing on the wings? I don't get that.
I just thought wondering that. They're very shiny as well.
It's just a matter of picking a letter from the alphabet.
What's that, Ted?
Darth Vader.
Oh, not the one you're looking for.
No, I know that's a German submachine gun.
Yes, it was a. Was it not? Wasn't MP? It wasn't MG42, was it? It was something else.
I don't know the numbers of them. But
Robert Blaylock says Ted is banned.
Next one. There's paints. Next one. Paints again. Acrylic colours for brush and airbrush. There, yeah. That's what we're talking with stirring balls.
Stirring balls.
Stirring balls.
The chat is quite disappointed in your inability to recognise
my sci-fi recognition.
Face palm. Robert Blaylock says this is a sad day.
Oh look, Shadow, skydiver.
Oh yeah. Now Ted knows what that is.
Shadow.
Yeah. Nobody else knows what that is, but Ted does. It's the complete reversal.
Straker and everybody else.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't believe for that series they actually made the cars.
Yeah. There's people are finding them in backs of scrapyards and film lots and rebuilding them. They're still around.
Yeah, I actually found for those that don't know, like the UFO series, they had the real life cars they drove around in that were just kind of made for the film. Some guy found one in a field, but the guy who owned it wouldn't let him buy it, and it's just rotting in a field. And this guy's like, I want to buy it off him and restore it, but he won't let me. He won't sell it to me.
There we are. So there, yeah, if you were interested in any of your spaceships tonight, yeah, there's some paint to go with it from Migamo with shooting balls, 6 jars, 17 mil in a jar, lots of them matte blacks. Has it not got?
I'll give you a list of what's in it.
I'm just trying to read the box. Matte black, satin white, crystal black blue. I can't read the rest. Cool blue. No, I'm just guessing now.
Did not say the description.
I'm sure it'll tell you somewhere. Hang on. All right. Matte black, satin white, crystal black blue, medium. No.
Your head's sideways now, isn't it, Ted?
Yeah, you can tell because he sounds different.
Yeah, that's it. Right, right. Back to you, lot.
A bit of love for UFO coming out of the comments.
Yeah, I love UFO. That is one sci-fi program I do watch, and I have binged watched a lot all in one go.
Yeah,
you're out of focus, Ted.
Got Vaseline on the lens again, Ted.
Yeah, I'll be back in focus in a minute. I just
when was UFO? Was that 60s?
Early 70s.
Yeah, 70s.
I think. Spiddy Crate says it's an MG34, the Stormtrooper rifle, as used in many Panzers.
Yeah, that's it. That's where I've seen it before. Yeah, because apparently a lot of Star Wars stuff was sort of military hardware, wasn't it?
Yep. Zazta says reassuringly blurry.
Yes, I told you we couldn't get away without having a night of blurriness.
No, Joanna Hammond says, tut, you made me buy a new model.
Dave Barker had the Corgi UFO truck, but he dropped a rock on it when he was a kid.
I had the Captain Scarlet Interceptor car, the red one. That was great.
Chris Balchin said that as a kid he loved doing his Airfix lunar module, and he just asks if that new Saturn V comes with Cape Canaveral. All of it, all of Cape Canaveral and the tower. You could build the tower, build the tower.
I had a very large space shuttle model once that actually came with the launch pad. It was huge. It was a rubbish model. I can't remember who made it, but it was, I don't know.
Kurt Flugelhorn says, which famous current actor's mother was in UFO?
Oh, I know this one. I can see her face, but I can't think of the name. No, I can't think of it. No.
It'll come to you in the middle of the night.
Yeah,
and then Mrs. Kendall, while you're shouting out some woman's name in.
Yeah, that's it. Benedict Cumberbatch's mum. Yeah, one of Bentham.
Yeah. Ted, should we give some stuff away?
Right, let's go and give some stuff away.
Last week's first, and then
we're going to do last week's first. I'll get the picture of it. Hang on. We can show what it was.
Gentlemen, load up your pictures.
I've lost it. There we go. No, it's not. Right, I'll come back to you. Lock it on me, but it's continued to be locked on me anyway. We'll do a screen share when the thing comes up. Come on.
You'll be out of focus soon then.
Share. Boom. There we go. This is what we're giving away last week. Once again, we were giving away the T54 one.
I have to wonder if it's an IRA one. I keep doing that.
I think it's a one. It's the 1974 model modification. I think we discussed that last week, but I can't remember what it was anyway. Anyway, it's a T54 one, and we have picked a winner from the winners picking thing, which we always pick before the show. And tonight's winner, should I tell them? Stop sharing. Come back. Stop sharing. I'm out of focus again.
Have they been good? Do they deserve to be told who won?
Should we tell them who won?
Yeah, have they been good though, Ted?
We could use that as a competition question. Who won?
Postcard.
Who do you think won this week?
Yeah, send your postcard to BBC Pebble Mill, Television Centre, London, W12 8QT.
Right. The winner is. I have written it down, but I've probably drawn over it. The winner from last week, because as you know, to win this prize, you have to comment under the video when it goes over on the YouTubes. Yes. And the winner is, and I actually think he's left because his wife called him out and he had to go and do other things for her that must be paid. The winner is Sergeant Bones. Sergeant Bones, I know you're in here, or have been in here somewhere, regular viewer. Well done to you. I believe this will be going out across to Germany somewhere.
Yes.
Yeah,
so if he's not in, somebody let him know he's won.
Yeah.
Because I doubt he's going to come back and watch the rest of the show.
Somebody next door.
He's in.
Yeah, he's in. He
says,
yeah, well done.
yes.
Yeah, well done. Yeah, so he'll be going to Germany, be near the border where the Cold War. Yeah, so well done. Congratulations.
Yeah, imagine customs. Was ist los? Das ist ein Russian tank. That's not coming from. No. Just right on the bottom, Russian tank.
It seems that he came back just in time. He's just come back.
Yeah. His ears must have been burning. So.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. So obviously terms and conditions apply, and I'm sure we'd like to see it built.
Yeah, terms and conditions as in put pictures up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't forget on that, by the way. Don't forget talking about pictures at the gallery, the eModels gallery. Any builds that you've done, get them across and put them on the eModels gallery. Then once a month, Fox, Ted, and Chris and I will.
Fox, Ted, Chris, and I, and some other people.
All four of us. Yeah.
All four of us. All four of us.
Oh dear. Yeah, just think about that one for a minute.
Yeah, there's two of us, you know. There's me and my twin brother. Yeah.
You say you get 2 votes.
Yeah.
In fact, what says? Give me the next few days, isn't it? The next one.
It's not too far. It's not too far.
It's gonna be next week. I think next week because the next one is in the next few days.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yes, it's eModels.co.uk/gallery.
Gallery,
Just make sure upload a picture of your build. We try and suggest not work in progress builds because it's really for completed stuff. So just put up doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't have to be something you've got from eModels. Just post the picture up and get some feedback. Make sure you leave feedback for or rate other people's builds as well. And what us guys are being looked at.
Chris is out of focus now.
Chris, you're out of focus now.
I'm not out of focus. I don't go out of focus.
Apparently.
Am I?
Chris, Ted, Fox, and I will, and Ted and Chris as well, will pick our favourite of the month of the 5-star rated builds, and that will win a sweet prize. And that'll be next week. We'll draw a winner. So get uploading.
Yeah. So
Joanna just says, "Do you have to be qualified to upload builds?"
No, you just need an internet connection and a build you finished.
You have to have finished it and send it.
And we don't judge it on, as we always say, we don't judge it on technical prowess. We're not necessarily going to pick some kind of museum quality fantastic paint job. We might do, or we might pick something that a younger builder has made that, you know, we go off something that tickles our fancy, not necessarily the most technically proficient.
Sometimes we'll just be clicking through the video. We'll do a slideshow. We'll click next picture, click next picture, click. Wow. That's the one. Yeah, that's the picture.
And it might be, you know, the most realistic, intense paint job that somebody spent 3 years doing, or it could be like a young builder who's maybe just starting out, and you know, it's just something that's interesting, and we can see the effort they've put into it. So don't worry if you don't think you're good enough. Everybody's good enough. Upload your pictures. Don't think about it. Just do it.
Yeah, do that.
Sergeant Bones was asking where to send his address, so I'll just put it in the chat anyway. But it's
eModels.co.uk. Send us your
include your phone number as well in case the postal people need to call you and say, "Where are you?"
Yeah, that's good. Thank you very much for that. Well done. Right, we've got a mug and a sticker to give away this week.
Yes.
Dave Barker just said that he sent you an email, a sticker question through email.
Yeah, I've got that.
Okay. Well, I've got a question as well. So.
All right, we'll go yours. Yeah. We'll maybe use yours. We'll maybe have a rearrange next week and do yours next week, Dave. You'll know what I'm on about. You sent the email. Yeah. Okay.
Is that some secret conversation going on there?
Yeah, we each know what we're talking about, so we'll.
Okay.
Yeah,
we've got one question then, so that puts us for a second question, but never mind. Yeah. Okay, what should we do first, mug or a sticker?
Should we do a mug?
Yeah,
We're doing a mug.
we do. I'll do my question for the mug because it's a more Google question. Okay, now this is for the people in the chat. If you want to win yourself an eModels mug modeled by the delightful Ted, modeled by the delightful Ted.
Model now.
Hint.
Modeled by the. Thank you. All you need to do is answer the question. If you've already got a mug, you're more than welcome to have another mug. You can have as many as you want. But if you've already got one, you don't want another one. Don't answer. Let somebody else have a chance to win. But if you want another one, it's absolutely fine. Feel free. Now, all you need to do is I will ask the question. Don't answer until I say go. And we will pick the first one to get the correct answer. And we go off the first one we see in the chat. We see the chat differently to you guys. So I'll also leave a gap between saying the question and go to allow for lag. So the question this week, no, I can't leave a gap because you're going to have to research it. So I'll just ask the question and shut up. In Space 1999, remember earlier on we said that the little lunar rover vehicle was based on a real-life vehicle. What vehicle is the Space 1999 moon rover or moon buggy based on? Go.
Yeah. What was the real vehicle?
Yep.
For a
What's
moon?
the name of the vehicle it's actually made of? They just painted it yellow, stuck some bits on it. Shouldn't take you long.
No.
It took me about 30 seconds to find out the answer.
Yeah, you need to. Yeah. If you put the right search word in Google,
or maybe even several words. Tosh Lines on a skateboard. Philly's. Oh, he's made a Bill reference. Can we give him a sticker just for that?
Banana splits cast. La 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 la.
You're not wrong, but it's not the right answer.
There we go. That was one. Wayne Haywood.
Wayne Haywood, Amphicat. Well done.
Well done.
Ted, can we be really nice and give a sticker to whoever it was that mentioned the bill? Because you mentioned Tosh Lines, and I love the bill.
You've got some stickers, have you?
No, I've got none left.
Oh. I'll send you some.
No. Yeah, so Philly sent Ted an email for a sticker. And who won it then? I've forgotten now. Wayne Haywood sent Ted an email.
Yeah.
With your name and address for a mug of mugs. Amphicat.
Yeah, remember when you send me your details to tell me what you won, because I forget, because it all gets mixed up and I forget.
Yeah. Because if you're doing it for a mug, it's not us that send them out, it's the chaps at eModels, and they'll be like, what am I sending him? What?
What am I sending that for?
Yeah, so just put down, my name is, I have won, here are my bank details, and so on. You know, don't put your bank details. That was a joke. Right, we need a second question now, don't we?
Yeah, what for the sticker?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
That wasn't the actual sticker giveaway, but we'll give a sticker away to the whoever it
apparently he says it's okay, actually. He's got a few stickers from his last order from eModels.
Has he?
So Philly says thanks, but no thanks.
Okay.
All right. Yeah,
but you did mention Tosh Lines, and I want to reward you for that somehow.
Yeah, you get an extra. Yeah. We'll start awarding what's your bonus points. If you're in the chat, you get a bonus point for being in the chat. Then if you're in the second week, you get another point. So yeah, Felice must be about up to 40 viewer points now.
Yeah. Now, if we model this on the old 1980s Shell petrol station giveaways where you win some crappy glasses, we'll say get to about 3.5 trillion points.
Yeah, you need three. Yeah,
and you'll be up for a sticker.
Yeah, you need 4,000 viewer points before you get a sticker.
Yes, and they are completely arbitrary.
Yeah, you've got to lick all
stop doing them just before anyone gets to about 2,500.
Michael Jackman says, "Since when did Ted forget anything?"
Who said that?
Michael Jackman. I just fell for that. I fell into my trap.
Oh dear.
Right, so we've got a question for a sticker then. We haven't, have we?
Yeah, well, I suppose we could use Dave's question that he sent me.
Yeah, if you want to.
Yeah, go on then. For a sticker.
Does that mean Dave wins a sticker again, though, because he asked the question?
No, he's had enough.
No. You're cutting him off. You're not enabling him anymore.
He can make his own. Yeah. I'll send him. I'll get Skylar to draw him a sticker and send him one of hers.
Yeah.
Right. Somebody said Chris is doing a TED and going blurry.
Yeah, I've just been looking at my focus, but as far as I can tell, I'm in focus. But there's
all
something
right.
happening with my connection or
Could
something.
you be sat at the right distance with the right eyesight that you look in focus, even though you're
try
not?
moving further and closer away, but I don't know.
Maybe it's because I'm in focus. It makes you look out of focus.
You're not in focus, Ted.
I'm not focusing.
If I take my glasses off, you're all really out of focus.
Yeah. Right. Dave Barker says he asked the question. You can't answer it till I say go. I remember the usual conditions about sticker. If you've got sticker, etc., don't want sticker and do want sticker.
Disclaimer, by the way, we have no idea if the answer is correct or not. We trust whoever.
We know. We could. We're aware of the answer on this one.
Oh, okay. Am I going to become sad at the answer to this question? I'm getting this feeling now. Go on.
Yeah, perhaps I should make it blurry to make this question a little bit harder.
Does it involve the sentence "how many episodes"?
Right, I'm just trying to get back in focus now. There we are, back in focus.
Apparently, I might not be blurry. I've just got a fuzzy haircut.
Yeah.
Right, I think everybody can see everything. Right, this question is: where is the red lid on the paint bottle? Go. Yeah. Somebody
Charles says 6-episode band.
Yeah, somebody did mention it before, but where's the red lid from the paint? Where's the red lid on the paint?
Yeah.
So it's quite a specific place this week.
Yep.
I bet nobody
the answer there.
Phil Kep said above the puffin.
Tedster is also correct, but too late by saying it's just there.
In the place.
I'm going to be talking now, so I can see it. So it's there. It is up there.
Trot and Charles being clever and saying on the top of the bottle.
Yeah. Yeah. So Phil Kep won a sticker. Just send me your details to ted@emodels.co.uk. Well, I'll get you a sticker sent off eventually. Next time I pass in the post office.
All right.
Right. Right sticker. Right. What else are we going to do? And this week's giveaway.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I haven't forgot this week.
Ted remembered.
That's right. Now, as is always the way, I have to say this, but as is always the way, somebody mentioned this earlier on in the chat. And it's always the case that we plan ahead of time what we're going to give away. And more often than not, somebody in chat will just happen to mention it. So one of you actually mentioned this earlier on. I forgot who it was because I'm rubbish, but
I'm glad you remembered that because I'd forgotten what it was we were giving away.
In fact, no, somebody didn't mention it, but it looks like something. I'll shut up. It looks like something somebody mentioned. Carry on.
Well, without further ado, let's go and have a look at what we're giving away this week.
What have we got for this week?
What have we got for this week?
Are you locked on you, Ted?
Locked on me.
Locked on you, Ted.
The giveaway this week is a Romulan battle cruiser. Yay!
A Romulan bird of the cruising battle, Ted Fox. Chris and
I think we gave away a few weeks ago that we give away the Starship Enterprise with Botany Bay.
Botany Bay.
So this time,
Ted says it doesn't get the reference.
No,
I don't get it. No. So this week we're giving away the Starship battle cruiser, Romulan battle cruiser, in fact. And I think what we have to do this week, we continue along the theme of noises. You have to comment in a phrase underneath it. Comment whatever you want, but it has to be in Romulan.
Wait, does anybody actually know? Was that even the language that came up within?
Can't they just do the transporter noise or something?
Yeah.
Do the transporter noise. Yeah.
Sergeant Barrow says, I say that's not Romulan, it's Klingon. It does look remarkably like a Klingon D7 cruiser, but it's a Romulan bird of prey with big wings on it. I don't know if there's some original series shenanigans going on here, because that is a Klingon D7, but it's got Romulan wings on the bottom. So
Klingon ship used by Romulans, Trout and Chard says.
All right. There you go, then. It does sell the box. It's a Romulan.
I stand in awe of your knowledge.
Yes, it's not a bird of prey.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, sweet Star Trek goodness, retro Star Trek.
Yeah. So in all of the Star Trek goodness world, we need a comment this week either in Klingon or the transporter noise?
Klingon.
Romulan.
For the Romulan Klingon.
Klingon, yeah. Just make a noise.
Yeah, just write a noise. Put some Klingon on Romulan.
Just write a suitable Star Trek noise.
Now, remember, as always, don't put a comment in the chat here. Do it on the video once it's gone up on the channel, which is about 10 or 15 minutes after we finish. And then on Monday, Chris, Ted, Fox, and I will go in and we'll check the comments.
Can I do it?
Eh?
Can I do it as well?
Yeah, you can do it as well. So Chris, Ted, Fox, and I will we'll pick one out at random on Monday, and that person will win that Romulan Bird of Prey with the transponders and the stunt truck. Oh, it's all gone to pot.
Rhodey says we have to be careful. TK is likely to make a fake ID up to put in the comments to try and win.
Well, we won't know until he sends us his name and address, and then we'll be like, "That's TK." Can't get away with that one.
Yeah, it just does look like a Klingon, though, doesn't it? Yes.
Phil Lewis says, like I said, it's a Roddy Bubble Battle Wibble.
That's a good noise, yeah.
Michael Jackman says Romulans now using Klingon design. Spock Series 3.
There you go then. Robert Blaylock says Ted's knowledge of Star Trek and Star Wars is enough to make me want to drink.
Yep, you're not alone there.
The one thing I never liked about the Romulans in the original series was they had the hat that looked like they just put an enormous snowdrop on their head. It looked really stupid.
Chris Balchin says, "Is my grumbleweed chair affecting me again?" Yeah, it is.
Yes. Are you still locked on you, by the way, Tedward?
No, it's a free for all. I haven't
noticed you shrinking this week. Your chair.
I have been shrinking. It's just when I've been offshore, you've been simply this, and it allows the chair to come back.
Bouncing around in the chair,
before it shrinks down again.
Probably too excited with all the Star Trek stuff.
Yeah.
Was there any? This is really just for me and Chris, but did they ever actually use any real Romulan language in Star Trek? Apart from the occasional Jolan True, Klingon was a full language.
Very cool. Was it?
Did they ever cut it out, or was it just like the occasional phrase?
It's sort of like Vulcan, isn't it? They didn't really use much Vulcan.
No,
as a separate language.
The only phrase I can remember is Jolan True. Jolan True Spock.
Yeah.
Black says no. Colin R. Yeah, there was Colin R. No, that was Vulcan.
Yeah.
No, they did. Said Trot Chard.
They were very secretive, them Romulans.
Yeah.
Sergeant Bones asked if you got his email.
Yeah, I did.
Phil Lewis says you're displaying a distinct list to the left.
It's a chair.
Have you spliced the main brace again?
Hang on.
Carl from eModels says yes, Romulan is a full language, as is Vulcan. Cool.
Dave Barker says there's a Romulan English translator on the internet.
Well,
I might learn Klingon just for the fun of it.
Yeah, well, there, yeah, you can comment under the video in Romulan then. Or just make a transporter noise. Because some of them are quite funny. Right. Anything else?
The one thing I wish that sci-fi people would do when they make up these languages is stop using apostrophes all the time. Because if you look at any fake sci-fi language, they always put tons of apostrophes in it, like Bajoran, Klingon. It's like, we don't use apostrophes that much in real life. So can they not just do one without? I don't know. It's just weird. Always breaks the immersion. Resistance is futile. Can't pronounce Klingon.
Next week we'll be holding the live stream in Romulan.
Yes. At least we'll tell that. We'll say that's what we're doing.
Right. Well, a final question from Jamie Bourne. Before we call it a night, because time's getting on. We're getting late. Yeah, we're getting later every week. Hi.
It's ridiculous.
He's building the TACOM 135th FV432. I'm a personnel carrier. How much mud would be around the different parts of the track? Lots. Depends where it is.
If it's in Europe during the winter, it'll be covered in or autumn, it'll be just covered in it.
Yeah, if it's moving, it'll all be thrown off, so the tracks will be quite clean. Not clean, well, they'll be muddy, but there won't be much hanging around.
Yeah.
If it's been through a swamp, there'll be lots more of it. If it's been across a couple of roads, it'll all be thrown off. So it
Don't
depends
forget, you'll get mud and stuff going up the front as well and coming out the back.
Yeah,
And up the side behind the wheels.
Yeah, watch a few videos of tracked vehicles. There's quite a few out there. Watch a few vehicles of tanks and things and see how the mud gets thrown about and where it lands and everything else. I know there are any paints for the Airfix Royal Navy F4 Phantom. As yet, I don't know. I think Airfix will probably have a set themselves, or they'll have all the recommended colours in the Humbrol range. So yeah, get the box, have a look on the box of what they recommend. I don't know that there's any paint sets. There may be. So have a look around.
Yes. There's probably a website you could go to that you could have a look and see.
Yeah.
The paint sets. I'm just making a guess there, but there's probably a website.
Might be a paint or website not too far away. But
I'm thinking of one that might also sell them, perhaps. Maybe.
Perhaps, yeah. Or you could send them.
Ted.
Yeah. Or you could just send them a contact email and ask.
Yeah. My joke just go over your head completely there, Ted. my irony.
Yeah. Never mind.
Yeah.
Explain it to me later.
Okay. If I have to explain it, it kills it.
Right.
Ellsric 9000 says Hataka do a set, which eModels do sell. So
yeah, of course you do. Yeah. Right. Okay.
I need a wee again.
Right. It's sad because yeah. I've got the email.
Water during the day.
Yeah, and I've got the email that she's gone to bed. I've kind of put the chicken out and fetched the cat in.
Yeah, turn the cat off and put the gas out.
Yeah, right. Right. Okay. It's been another good night.
Yes.
It's been a good night, yeah. Giveaways and
Thanks
things
to everyone for coming in and watching.
Yeah,
hanging out in our front room, as it were. Not literally, obviously, metaphorically.
Yeah, we spoke a lot about models tonight, and we didn't go anywhere near 80s.
I know, well, we did a little bit.
Really. We did a bit.
A little bit, but not much.
Maybe.
Right, I can't read out your comment, but yes, I agree completely.
Right, time to go. Okay, good night, everybody. Thank you for joining us. And it's time to go. And we'll all wave as we usually do. So it's good night from Fox.
Adios, amigos.
Good night for Chris.
No.
And it's good night for me. Goodbye, everybody. Thanks a lot.
Goodbye.
See you next week.
Goodbye.
Bye. Bye.
Goodbye.